Services, the Tiberi Law Office and Attorney Vincent Tiberi, Super 8 by Wyndham Uniontown, Best in Fayette for Hotels and Lodging, Auto Land Hyundai of Uniontown, and by West Media Group. More than political consultants, West Media Group is a full-service advertising agency.
We welcome everyone inside our Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios for Election Coverage 2025. Brian Morozak along with George Rattay, Russ Rhodes, and Nick Barczyk this evening, and we are starting to see some early results trickling in, and these early results, guys, certainly favoring the Democratic side.
Yes, it is right now, and a lot of that, most of the results we've got going right now, Brian, is the mail-in ballots, and history tells us anyway that the Democrats vote more on the mail-ins than they do than Republicans do. So I think that's what we're seeing a lot of right now.
I'm living proof that is correct.
Yeah, seeing that that favorability towards Democrats.
Yeah, because like Russ just said, I think we had Democrats had about 7,000 mail-in ballots requested. So you're seeing, and the results you got now, I assume, is for all the mail-in
We're
ballots.
actually showing 32.47% of the precincts reporting, and I'll go through some of the county-wide races to start. For Recorder of Deeds, Democrat James Santilli with 8,329 votes. That's 59.9% of the overall. The Republican incumbent John R. Marietta with 5,544 votes. 39% of the overall. So you're looking right now about a 2,800 vote lead for the Democratic challenger Santilli over the incumbent Marietta. County Treasurer's race also favoring Democrat challenger Matthew Lancaster, who has 7,798 votes. That's 56.24% of the overall. The Republican incumbent Melissa Tizan with 6,053 votes, 43% of the overall. And the jury commissioner race as well with 32.47% of the vote in. Trinette Schmidt-Cunningham, the Democrat, with 7,673 votes. Republican Frank Matansky with 6,055 votes, 44% of the overall in that race. So, guys, countywide, some of your general thoughts here early on.
How many, what percentage was that again?
32.47 of the precincts in.
Or 18% of the vote.
18% of the vote.
It's 25 of 77 precincts. Now, one thing that I just noticed this, and this is interesting. Comparing the Recorder of Deeds vote totals to that of the county treasurer. Melissa Tizan, although losing, but she is doing far better
than John
Marietta is on the count. So that tells me there are a lot of Republicans in the Recorder of Deeds vote that went for Jim Santilli.
You're absolutely correct by those numbers.
So there's a 509 vote difference in what Melissa Tizan has over John Marietta.
And of course, the larger precincts to favor the Republicans coming out of Bullskin once we find those numbers.
Right.
And that's some of the bigger voting precincts. I think Bullskin 1 may be the largest in the county, except for South Union 1.
Well, we do have one of the three precincts in out of South Union Township as well. Certainly a lot of eyes on the Township Supervisor's race. The Republican incumbent there is leading, Jason Scott, with 1,021 votes. Democrat challenger Patrick Mahoney, 933 votes. So the Republican incumbent Scott, 52.2% of the overall. The Democratic challenger Mahoney, 47.7% of the overall. And George, you were telling me, just looking at some poll watcher numbers as well, you think Patrick could be in some trouble tonight.
Yes, by the early numbers. But again, there was close, I think, 900 or maybe 1,000 mail-in ballots from South Union 1 and 2 and 3.
The Township Auditor's race as well in South Union Township. Brenda Early, the Democrat with the lead, 1,026 votes, 54% of the overall. Republican Paul Richardson, 846 votes, 45% of the overall there for Township Auditor in South Union. And those are the only two contested races in South Union Township.
Well, the other thing, too, with Jim Santilli leading, of course, that's early. And, of course, if Jim knocks off the incumbent, I think that should send a clear message that the Democratic Party is not deceased. And also, we know there's some issues with John, so within the own party. But again, that's early, and I'm not going to get too excited. I was out and about today like I usually. I didn't see a large voting precincts. I mean, I've seen the biggest turnout, obviously, was with the race in South Union 1, 2, and 3. But I hit the other polling precincts. The little issue they found out, you reported, Brian, on the radio station, it was statewide and just not here in the county.
Correct.
They were informed probably about 8:15, which was good.
Very quickly.
Yeah, and they sent a text message to all the polling precincts, and I have a copy, and Russ has it in front of him. So
you guys want to recap that as well, just to the folks maybe that weren't aware of that, can get up to date on that as well.
You want to do it, George?
Well, you got better eyes than me reading this thing.
So
this happened this morning.
Basically what happened is the Pennsylvania State Department, they sent voter mail-in ballot information out to the different precincts from last November's election.
2024.
So people were going to the polls today and being told you already voted. And that was information based off of 2024. So the voter said, no, I haven't voted, and I didn't even request a mail-in ballot this time. So they were given a provisional ballot, and everything will wash out in the end. Where those provisionals won't be counted until later.
Correct.
But they'll be.
You just wonder, though, how does this stuff, it seems like every single, and I know we harp on it, and we're not trying to pick on anybody, but it's just every single primary or general election, something always pops up. Why can we not have an election where we don't have some form of an issue?
Well, I guess we wouldn't have anything to talk about.
I guess whatever. Yeah, I guess so.
No, I'm only joking.
We need material. That exact same thing driving back from Charleston today. When's the last time we had an election that didn't go off? And this
Never.
This is not a dig at Fayette County Election Bureau, because this is not their fault.
No.
This was generally statewide. It wasn't local. It just impacted us.
Yes.
And every county and every state, I'm sure, has issues.
Because we're here. But the other thing with Russ, if you don't mind, you could read that. And it's exactly that was on the website. And
it was a press release. It was sent out to us. It was sent out to CBS, the NBC, all the affiliates in the area. And this is what it said. The Fayette County Board of Elections has been advised by the Pennsylvania Department of State that the Department of State inadvertently transferred the 2024 voter file to be downloaded for the electronic poll books in Fayette County instead of the 2025 file. All Fayette County precincts have been instructed to switch to their backup paper poll books at this time.
Which they had at the voting precinct.
Correct,
yes.
But you would think, though, if something as big as a general election, wouldn't somebody double and triple check that just to make sure that data is correct as far as what you're uploading?
Yeah. And I don't know the process for when it comes here. Does Fayette County Election Bureau have immediate access to that where they could have, is there a header at the top?
Yeah, but there still has to be somebody that you trace it back to, whether it's somebody statewide that screwed it up or somebody locally.
No, I would say
situation.
I would say it was
statewide.
Yeah, correct.
The state
because the local corrected it, they found out here a little after 8. So like I said, I got a phone call probably 5 after 7 when somebody alerted me, and I said, well, let me check with the Bureau of Elections. And, of course, I told that person there was a judge election, have that judge at that particular precinct call the Bureau of Elections and talk to Mary Beth. So, like I said, so it was rectified. But again, like Nick said, it was statewide. Now, when they say statewide, did they have a problem in Allegheny County? Or was it in the eastern? Was it in the northern party? But there was problems, I assume, other than Fayette County.
Right.
Correct. We also have some numbers as well, guys. City of Uniontown, they have 57% of the precincts in for the city council race, and both Democrats looking good in that contest. One of the incumbent Democrats, Vincent L. Winfrey Sr., 769 votes. That's 38% of the overall. Remember, 2 open seats for Uniontown City Council. John Schoner, another Democrat, 577 votes. And the 2 Republicans, Gary Altman, one of the challengers, 349 votes. And Republican incumbent Jared Billy, 303 votes. So the incumbent Republican Billy actually the lowest of the 4 vote totals here early on.
And remember, Jared, 4
Switch
years
party,
ago,
yeah,
was
one
a
is
Democrat.
Democrat,
He
and he
changed
switched.
parties earlier this year.
And then we got to realize in 7 precincts in Uniontown are predominantly Democrat versus Republican. So there's big numbers on the Democratic side versus Republican side.
I think Uniontown's the last Democratic stronghold in Fayette County.
Well, we have a little bit of Brownsville, Luzerne Township, so there's, but no, City of Uniontown is predominantly still vote, and registered-wise, vote Democrat.
We'll take a quick time out. Be back with more election coverage. Again, you're listening and watching to Election 2025 here on your local station, 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS.
Politics is a tough business. Getting your message out to voters takes a good strategy. West Media Group and their strategic expertise and creative capabilities have helped to elect many notable Fayette County office holders, including Judges Steve Leskinen, Nancy Vernon, and Linda Cordero, retired State Senator Rich Kasunik, former State Representative Tim Mahoney, District Attorney Rich Bauer, District Judges Wendy Dennis, Dan Shimshock, and Rich Kasunik, County Commissioner Vince Vasides. West Media Group has also successfully managed several prominent races in neighboring counties. A full-service strategic marketing company and advertising agency, West Media Group can develop a plan for success for your business or organization, just as they have done for so many candidates for office. For websites and e-marketing programs, to complete strategic advertising plans, call West Media Group at 724-532-3300 or visit them at westmediagroup.com. They get results.
Located on Route 40 and voted best in Fayette Hotel and Lodging, Super 8 in Uniontown offers value and amenities like free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and guest laundry to help make your stay hassle-free. The staff at Super 8 Uniontown is committed to providing consistent quality, exceptional service, and affordable accommodations. Their prime location offers jacuzzi suites and a true Fayette County hospitality with easy access to nearby attractions, dining, and entertainment for you to enjoy. As part of the trusted Wyndham brand, Super 8 provides a consistent and reliable experience. Book direct at super8.com.
The Tiberi Law Office and attorney Vincent M. Tiberi specialize in criminal defense, wills and estates, family law, and personal injury. The Tiberi Law Office is located at 84 East Main Street, across the street from the Fayette County Courthouse in Uniontown. When you need to consult an attorney, make your first call to attorney Vincent M. Tiberi and the Tiberi Law Office. It'll be the only call you need to make. Phone 724-430-0300 or visit their website at tiberiLawOffice.com. The Tiberi Law Office. Small town, big results. Chris Parker Jr., Trick or Treat is over. What's going on at Autoland?
Treats continue here at Autoland with 0% for 60 months on all 25 Tucsons and Santa Fe's.
0% for 60 months?
That's right, 0% for 5 years on the award-winning all-wheel drive Tucson and Santa Fe's with third-row seating, plus 0% on the hybrid Tucson and Santa Fe's. Don't want 0% financing? Choose HMF bonus cash up to $4,500 on Santa Fe's. Winter weather is coming. Now's the time to get your all-wheel drive SUV with 0% financing and have a vehicle big enough for the family and hauling gifts. Did you know Hyundai is also the most awarded brand by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety for the past 2 years?
And every new Hyundai purchase includes Hyundai Assurance, America's Best Warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain protection, and 3-year free complimentary maintenance. Autoland Hyundai, downtown Uniontown, or online at AutolandHyundai.com.
And you always pay less to drive the best at Autoland Hyundai.
Do you need a fast, friendly notary service that is open in the evening? Sandy Howell Notary Services is here for you, offering new PA and West Virginia plates and ready to assist with your vehicle, boat, motorcycle, and ATV registrations and transfers, plate renewals, and more. Serving Fayette County and all surrounding areas, open weekdays from 10 to 8:30 and Saturdays from 9 to 5. Sandy Howell Notary Services, Dry Knob Road, Smithfield. Call 724-564-8955. Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you by name.
Welcome back to our election coverage here for the 2025 general election. Brian Morozak with George Rattay, Russ Rhodes, and Nick Barczyk. Want to pass along some Uniontown school district numbers for their school board race as well. You have 5 candidates for 4 spots available. And we'll just mention as well, for some of the races here tonight that are uncontested, or you have 4 for 4, we're not going to really dive into those numbers. We're generally looking at contested races because you generally know the results already of some of those contests. So the Uniontown school director race right now with 52.94% of the vote in. Stacy Bryant, the leading vote getter, with 1,479 votes. William Rittenhouse Jr., 1,472. Chris Gearing, 1,317. Mary Sykes, actually, she has a higher vote total than Gearing at 1,357. But at the bottom right now, one of the Republican incumbents, Don Regula, 1,180. Again, that's with 52% of the vote in that Uniontown school director race. Of course, Laurel Highlands uncontested. Tom Landman, Matt George, Debbie Conway Cunningham, and Miranda Novak all going through there as well. Also, no contested races in Fraser, Connellsville, or Brownsville. All of those school board seats are for candidates going for 4 spots. Albert Gallatin in the same way as well. So the Uniontown school director race, the only contested
Brian, what
race.
percentage is that? Right
For
now?
Uniontown, it's 52.94%.
52.
So there's still
Okay.
a good number of votes that have not come in there in the Uniontown school director race. We're going to take a break here in just a moment and hear from CBS News for their bottom of the hour update. And we'll recap right after that and kind of start from the top again, county-wide. And we'll try to dive into some other races maybe we've not got to yet. And again, as the numbers continue to update here tonight, we'll pass along running totals for you throughout the course of the evening until we have at least 100% of the vote in, or as much as we think we're going to get tonight, and have at least winners declared in most of the major races that we're watching here on WMBS Uniontown.
CBS News special report. Just in, CBS News estimates that when the votes are counted, Democrat Mikey Sherrill will win the New Jersey governor's race. In New York City's mayoral race, CBS News rates it as leaning Democratic for Zohran Mamdani. Ed O'Keefe is at Mamdani election night headquarters.
Given the fact that Mamdani's upstart campaign, with a relentless focus as well on social media and attacking Cuomo and his record, has ultimately tonight come out as the leader, at least so far.
CBS News projects that Democrat Abigail Spanberger will become Virginia's first female governor.
Tonight we turned a page. We turned that page by listening to our neighbors.
Meantime, at least 4 people are dead and 11 injured after a UPS plane crashes in an industrial area shortly after takeoff from the Louisville, Kentucky airport and goes up in flames. Governor Andy Beshear.
There are still dangerous things that are flammable, that are potentially explosive at the site.
CBS News special report. I'm Jennifer Kuiper.
The WMBS Weather Watch brought to you by Maloney's, West Main Street, Uniontown, serving delicious, authentic Italian entrees in Maloney's since 1950. The WMBS Weather Watch for all of southwest Pennsylvania. Overnight low 42. Rain moving in Wednesday at 66. Overnight low 37. Sun Thursday at 53. Overnight low 37. 66 with rain likely Friday. The overnight low at 50. 58 Saturday with sun. Chance for late day rain into the evening at 46. The low 52 with rain likely Sunday. Chance for some flurries overnight Sunday. Low 30, 34 Monday next Tuesday, topping out at 38. The WMBS Weather Watch for all of southwest Pennsylvania brought to you by Maloney's. They're on West Main Street. Give them a ring for specials. Ask about their popular banquet facility banquet menu at your next special event in Maloney's. They're at 724-437-2061, 437-2061 for Maloney's of Uniontown. Your local station, Fayette's first and finest, 590 and 101.1 WMBS.
9:33 p.m. here on election night and county-wide here in Fayette County. We have 25 of 77 precincts that have reported so far. 32.47% of the county vote is in. Again, just recapping a couple of the contested county races. James Santilli for Recorder of Deeds, the Democrat challenger. No numbers have changed here yet. 8,329 votes. Republican incumbent John R. Marietta with 5,544 votes, 39% of the overall for Marietta. Another Democratic challenger leading in the county treasurer's race, Matt Lancaster, 7,798 votes. Republican incumbent Melissa Tazan with 6,053 votes. And the jury commissioner race, Democrat Trinette Schmidt-Cunningham with 7,673 votes. Republican Frank Matansky with 6,055 votes.
Just to clarify, that race was settled in the primary.
So both of them go through that.
Yes, this is just a formality.
Gotcha.
There is no winner loser on.
That's what I was thinking as well. It's still showing vote for one for whatever reason there. So
1D and 1R.
Right.
That's the way that.
correct. And I know, Russ, you're looking at some of the retention races statewide as well.
Yeah, so statewide in the Supreme Court, Justice Donahue is up for retention, and statewide, let me go to the statewide here real quick. Well, actually, Christine Donahue, Kevin Doherty, and David Weck, all running for retention. They're both winning right now, 69% yes, retain.
That's on the Supreme Court.
That's on the Supreme Court, 31% get rid of them. Judge of the Superior Court, Brandon Newman. I'm sorry, that's for the election part. So let me go to retention for Superior Court. Alice Beck Dubois, yes, 69%, no, 31%. And Judge of Commonwealth Court, Michael Wojcik, yes, 69%, no, 31%.
Now, how many percentage of the vote is in statewide
That
for those?
I can't answer. I'm not seeing that number.
And I think that'll be important as well to know if a lot of those votes are coming out of the bigger cities, whether it's Philadelphia, inner city Pittsburgh, because I think that's certainly going to affect some of those numbers with yes versus no's, especially if you don't have a lot of the rural vote in statewide.
Right.
Russ, would you look for Superior Court for the election? And he's on the top. Brandon Newman. How many votes did Brandon have right now?
Right now, he's 646,200.
And what is the Supreme Court?
61.2%.
I was just trying to compare. The only reason they said because Brandon Newman's name is on the ballot, top of the ballot, on all 67 counties.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, because the governor's
a Democrat. But on the back of the ballot is all the retention of all the judges.
Yeah.
And they don't have a D or an R by their name. They just have yes or no.
No, but
yes. That was
okay.
So when somebody went in to vote, those judges,
you don't know if they're a Democratic judge
unless you do your homework,
yeah, retention,
right?
You don't know, correct?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I follow what you're saying.
But they won in the previous election. It was a 10-year term, so they have to run again. So.
Yeah, and again, we started talking about this off the air. I totally disagree with the retention vote. I think judges should go up. They should have to go head to head with an opponent. They should be made to defend their positions, their decisions.
Well, then I'd have to come back and say, look, Supreme Court, you vote for them, and they're in for life. They're appointed. Same with federal judges.
Not the state Supreme Court.
No, I meant on the federal.
Two different things.
Yeah.
Supreme Court.
Yeah. You're right.
Things,
not apples and oranges.
No, it's not. So, but if you're going see, because on the state or on the federal, they're not elected.
They're appointed.
In the state, we elect. So if you're going to elect them one time, they should have to go through a re-election process.
When you vote for either party, a D or an R, they're in lifetime. Just like Russ said, you win your first 10 years, it's yes or no. And I do believe there's only one judge who was never retained in the history of retention here.
I believe that. You're right on that.
Hey, guys, I do have actually a breakdown as far as where some of the votes have come in on.
Well, that would be good.
For the different areas. So if you look at the county treasurer's race as far as the registered voters and where we have votes and where we don't have votes in. As far as Brownsville is concerned, we have 2 of the 4 precincts that have reported votes in that race. Bullskin Township, nothing in as well countywide out of Bullskin. Connellsville, we have 2 of the 6. Is that 6 or 5 here? 1, 2, 3. 2 of the 5 precincts in Connellsville. Dunbar, both the precincts, actually 2 of the 3 have reported vote totals. Georges Township, nothing in there yet. German Township, they have 2 of the 4 in. Luzerne Township, just 1 of the 4 in so far. North Union has 2 of the 5 in so far. South Union, just 1 of the 3. Going through here, Uniontown City, they have 4 of the 7 precincts that they have in the city of Uniontown. Nothing for Upper Tyrone, Vanderbilt, Washington, or Wharton townships countywide. So that certainly, I think, will impact some of the numbers just based on where a certain candidate might be from or if they might pull more outside of the cities in some of the rural areas.
So what's the percentage now we have for the county?
The county has not changed. We're 32.47%. And the last update we had as far as fresh numbers coming in at 9:12. So you're looking at actually 27 minutes ago. So depending on how quickly they're going to update this. Again, we've had election nights where we've gone more than an hour in between updates, and other election nights where they've updated the site more frequently. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see. We've gotten actually 2 updates. One came in just before 9 o'clock, and then the other one came in about 10 minutes or so later, right before we hit the air. So we didn't even have a chance to report the first numbers that came across, but certainly 2 quick reports, and then again, we have not seen anything in the last 27 minutes.
I would say we're probably going to get out of here early tonight, right?
I am not going to. I'm not going to.
No, I know that. But again, and I say that for all candidates. And Russ, you know this, and I believe you ran, I ran. You know, it's not easy when you put your hat in the ring, as they say, and you go out and knock on doors, and it costs money today to get your name recognition out. And thank God we have WMBS where candidates can come on and discuss the issues. So like today when I went around, elections have consequences. People, you don't vote, don't complain, regardless what party affiliation you're in. And we'll find out. It'll probably be, if it's 30%, I'll be shocked. And I've said this as chairman, we would have to turn out at least 30 to 35%, and the Republicans 25%, and we're hoping the Republicans would vote some for our candidates. And that's just
so far.
Yeah, out of the precincts that have reported, they're showing 18% voter turnout in the precincts that have reported.
So, no, they're just showing 18% of registered voters.
I got you. Okay, I got you.
So I think in a primary, I think it was a little over 30%, and so we'll see what happens. But like I said, if our 2 candidates win, it'll be a big, big plus for us as Democratic here in the county. But we're going to see, the early numbers, and we know how things could change, and some of the bigger voting precincts come in. And
so it's going to be interesting to see if these numbers hold up, or if both of them change, or just one of them changes.
Yeah.
And I will argue that if one of them changes, and that being Melissa Tizan comes back and wins, and John Marietta
loses.
I think it has nothing to do with the Democrat Party and everything to do with who John Marietta is.
And I totally agree. And we had, Jim ran a good campaign. He wanted to stay positive, and I don't want to rehash. We're rehashing the numbers, and people went out and voted. And again, and if you didn't vote, like I said, don't complain. But again, that's early, and
hey guys, we actually just got an update in. So
there you go.
Just refreshed.
Yeah, just refreshed. Right. So I'm on South Union Township right now. I'm just going to start right there.
Okay.
Republican Jason Scott, and this is actually fully reported now in South Union Township. 100% of the vote now in South Union Township. We can declare Republican incumbent Jason Scott the winner with 2,071 votes.
2,071
for Jason Scott. That's official. Democrat challenger Patrick Mahoney, 1,485 votes. So Jason winning that race by almost 600 votes in South Union Township. Again, that's with all the vote totals. And the township auditor's race goes to Republican Paul Richardson with 1,876 votes. Brenda Early with 1,519. That race declared as well. Those are the only 2 contested races in South Union Township.
And mine did just now refresh.
Go ahead.
And a lot of these county races have gotten a lot closer.
Yes. So with 50 out of 77 precincts reporting now.
Okay,
John
we got 50.
Marietta has closed a little bit.
All right.
But Jim Santilli is still in the lead, 11,547 votes, or 53%. John Marietta, 10,183. Actually, no, he's increased his lead here.
No, not the Santilli Marietta race. It's only 1,400. You're only looking at a 1,400 vote lead right now for James Santilli. As Russ said,
that's right. I was looking at the wrong.
Yeah, James Santilli, 11,547 votes. Marietta, 10,183.
And how many 50 out of 77.
50 out of 70. And then, as I was thinking, Melissa Tizan now has flipped it.
You just said that earlier.
She leads 11,082 to 10,568.
So Melissa Tizan in the lead by about 500 votes right now over Matt Lancaster, and that's with 64% of the votes in county-wide.
Almost 65%
in that race as well.
Precincts.
So we have... Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I also just want to look at Uniontown City. They actually have 85% of the vote in there, and both Vince Winfrey and John Schoner, the two Democrats, the one incumbent, Winfrey, Schoner, the one challenger, healthy leads in this race. Winfrey, 1,022 votes. Schoner, 757 votes. The two Republicans, Gary Altman, 589 votes. Jared Billy, 462 votes. So Winfrey and Schoner look like they're on their way to getting wins tonight in the city of Uniontown for the city council race there. And you guys, just to look at it as well, we were talking about some of the judicial retention as far as how it is statewide versus Fayette County. Fayette County, it's almost split right down the middle. In the Donahue race, yes leads by 300 votes. In the Doherty race, yes leads by about 300 votes. For Wecht, yes leads by about 500 votes. Dubois, yes leads by about 600 votes. And for Wadsick, yes leads by about 1,000 votes. So they're all basically 50 to 49, 51 to 49, 51 to 48. They're all extremely close here in the county, but of course that doesn't mean anything statewide as far as what's going to ultimately decide that. But it kind of shows that if you're looking at Republican votes in tonight and Democratic votes in tonight, if you're assuming that you're going to get most of the Republicans saying no and the Democrats saying yes, vote totals right now split pretty evenly.
But if the since I know they're Democrats, so the candidates for retention are actually winning in Fayette County?
Everything is yes by slim margins in Fayette County, yes, as far as just the Fayette County votes.
But those judges, where there's an election taking place, so Maria Batista for Superior Court is up 11,251 to 9,903 for Brandon Newman, and Matt Wolford 11,326 to 10,049 for Stella Tsai, Commonwealth Court.
So that's kind of confusing. On one hand, the retention votes go one way, the votes on a ballot go a different way.
Now, do you guys have any more updates as far as any fresh state numbers on both the Judge of Superior Court, Judge of Commonwealth Court, and some of the statewide retention?
Let me see here. Let me hit the old refresh button and come on up.
No, they don't let me buy a computer. I just want to let you guys know that.
I'm here.
I don't much let me and Nick.
Retention statewide, again, I don't know what percentage of the
numbers
vote
went
is
up.
in. So for the three Supreme Court retention votes, Christine Donahue, Kevin McDougherty, and David Weck, they're all at 64% yes, 36% no. In the judge for Superior Court, Alex Dubois, he's 65% yes, 35% no. And Commonwealth Court, Michael Wojcik, 65% yes, 35% no.
So that looks like they will all be retained of those numbers, especially we're talking about 300,000 votes difference.
And how many votes are in statewide again, guys, for that?
You've got over 1 million votes in at this point in time, 1.1 million votes in. The percentage.
But again, you don't know how many of those out of the statewide vote.
Let me see if I can.
Well, while you figure that, I want to let you know we do another flip as well in the Uniontown School District. School director race. Don Regula back in. Right now, the top four vote getters in order. Stacy Bryant, 2218. William Rittenhouse, 2174. Chris Gearing, 2190. Don Regula, 2164. And Regula has about a 300 vote lead over Mary Sykes, who has 1,882, and that's with 82% of the precincts now reported in Uniontown. So the four leaders for the five spots right now are Brandt, Rittenhouse, Gearing, and Regula for the Uniontown school director race. So if you might have thought earlier Regula was out, well, he's back in, and we'll see. I think they're just awaiting one precinct still coming in Uniontown. We'll see if that stays as well. And also just in the Laurel Highlands race, I know, again, you have four candidates for four spots. Tom Landman, the top vote getter, followed by Matt George, Debbie Conway Cunningham, and Miranda Novak in that race. But again, no bearing on anything there. They're all going to be in the next term for Laurel Highlands school director. And again, the Uniontown school director race, the only contested race inside of any of these school districts that are totally within Fayette County. And you guys also wanted to mention the Fairchance Borough race right now. And again, not many folks coming out to vote in Fairchance so far. Thomas Tanner with 70 votes. He's the Democrat. Republican Greg Heiss with 40 votes. You guys were looking at another mayor's race as well tonight, weren't you?
No, I was thinking, I'm trying to think what other mayor's race I was.
Well, yeah, you'd mentioned something to me earlier when we came in here. You wanted me to take a look at, and I didn't have an opportunity.
No, that was Fairchance.
That was Fairchance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian.
Early numbers there in Fairchance for the mayor's race. And if you're watching online and there's some of the other outlier district races that you want us to take a look at, we'll be happy to do that as well. I think if you look overall, and again, a lot of these are not contested races. There's over 300 races going on countywide on different ballots tonight. So we don't pass along your favorite race. Just let us know, and we'll try to get some updates.
So we have 50 out of the 77 precincts reported.
Right now, 50 of the 77 precincts reporting coming up here on 9:50 p.m. So the numbers coming in pretty good here, at least early on. Hopefully, we continue to get.
By the way, countywide, we're at 28.32%.
Yeah, it did go up. That is good. That is good to see.
There you go.
As well, we'll take a quick time out. Be back with a few more numbers for you before the top of the hour in CBS News here on WMBS. Uniontown Decision 2025 coverage is coming your way all night long.
Politics is a tough business. Getting your message out to voters takes a good strategy. West Media Group and their strategic expertise and creative capabilities have helped to elect many notable Fayette County office holders, including Judges Steve Leskinen, Nancy Vernon, and Linda Cordero, retired State Senator Rich Kasunik, former State Representative Tim Mahoney, District Attorney Rich Bauer, District Judges Wendy Dennis, Dan Shimshock, and Rich Kasunik, County Commissioner Vince Vasides. West Media Group has also successfully managed several prominent races in neighboring counties. A full-service strategic marketing company and advertising agency, West Media Group can develop a plan for success for your business or organization, just as they have done for so many candidates for office. For websites and e-marketing programs, to complete strategic advertising plans, call West Media Group at 724-532-3300 or visit them at westmediagroup.com. They get results.
Located on Route 40 and voted best in Fayette Hotel and Lodging, Super 8 in Uniontown offers value and amenities like free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and guest laundry to help make your stay hassle-free. The staff at Super 8 Uniontown is committed to providing consistent quality, exceptional service, and affordable accommodations. Their prime location offers jacuzzi suites and a true Fayette County hospitality with easy access to nearby attractions, dining, and entertainment for you to enjoy. As part of the trusted Wyndham brand, Super 8 provides a consistent and reliable experience. Book direct at super8.com.
The Tiberi Law Office and attorney Vincent M. Tiberi specialize in criminal defense, wills and estates, family law, and personal injury. The Tiberi Law Office is located at 84 East Main Street, across the street from the Fayette County Courthouse in Uniontown. When you need to consult an attorney, make your first call to attorney Vincent M. Tiberi and the Tiberi Law Office. It'll be the only call you need to make. Phone 724-430-0300 or visit their website at tiberiLawOffice.com. The Tiberi Law Office. Small town, big results. Chris Parker Jr., Trick or Treat is over. What's going on at Autoland?
Treats continue here at Autoland with 0% for 60 months on all 25 Tucsons and Santa Fe's.
0% for 60 months?
That's right, 0% for 5 years on the award-winning all-wheel drive Tucson and Santa Fe's with third-row seating, plus 0% on the hybrid Tucson and Santa Fe's. Don't want 0% financing? Choose HMF bonus cash up to $4,500 on Santa Fe's. Winter weather is coming. Now's the time to get your all-wheel drive SUV with 0% financing and have a vehicle big enough for the family and hauling gifts. Did you know Hyundai is also the most awarded brand by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety for the past 2 years?
And every new Hyundai purchase includes Hyundai Assurance, America's Best Warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain protection, and 3-year free complimentary maintenance. Autoland Hyundai, downtown Uniontown, or online at AutolandHyundai.com.
And you always pay less to drive the best at Autoland Hyundai.
When you need notary services, trust the best. Sandy Howell Notary Services, back-to-back gold medal winner for Best Notary in Fayette County. They're here for you with extended hours to fit your schedule. Sandy Howell's also the 2025 gold medal winner for Best Title Company. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 8:30, and Saturdays, 9 to 5. Call 724-564-8955 today for Sandy Howell Notary Services, where excellence is signed and sealed.
About 6 minutes until the top of the hour. Decision 2025 coverage here on WMBS. Brian Morozak with Russ Rhodes, Nick Barczyk, and George Rattay trying to dig up some other information for us tonight. And we had a comment on here asking about contested races in Smithfield. There are none. Jesse Moats going for borough mayor uncontested with 95% of the overall. They got 4% write-in votes there. You have 4 council members going for 4 spots. Jamie Hoon uncontested for borough tax collector, and Herman Moats uncontested for inspector of elections in Smithfield. But you ask and you shall receive tonight here on election coverage here on WMBS. Again, right now, 50 of the 77 precincts reported so far county-wide. And right now, as Russ had mentioned, a 28.32% voter turnout ratio so far on the numbers that we have in as far as the county voter turnout at this point. And again, 3 big county races tonight. And right now, actually 2 big county races tonight. They're both close. James Santilli, the Democratic challenger for Recorder of Deeds, with 11,547 votes, 53% of the overall. Republican incumbent John R. Marietta, 10,183 votes, 46.78% of the overall there. Melissa Tizan, the Republican incumbent for county treasurer, trailed early. She's flipped it, has the lead over Matt Lancaster. Tizan, 11,082 votes, about a 500-vote lead over Matt Lancaster, who has 10,568 votes. We've already declared Jason Scott retaining his spot as South Union Township supervisor, defeating Patrick Mahoney, the Democrat challenger, tonight, as well as all the numbers have come in out of South Union Township.
And getting back to the county race, of course, voting by registrations, the Democrats are outnumbered about 10 or 11,000 votes in the county. So like I said, that was 50 out of the 77 precincts. I called down the Bureau of Elections, so we should get another update here very shortly.
Oh, okay.
And again, we'll continue to pass those along when we get the next update here, likely after the top of the hour here at 10 o'clock. We have about 3.5 minutes until the top of the hour. Any big surprises to you guys so far tonight, Nick and Russ?
Not really. It's, I kind of figured that the Recorder of Deeds was going to be tight. And it is. It can go either way. We don't know how many votes are still to be counted.
Well, what precincts, the larger precincts?
We can get an idea, but we still don't. Our website does break that down, the county website. We can go and see who is still out there. But you
got one incumbent winning and one incumbent losing.
Yeah.
And we know one's controversial, the other one had no controversy.
No.
But again, the other ones, before we go to the top of the hour, is, of course, the big races in Jersey, in Virginia, and
the governor races.
And the governor race. So
it looks like in both Virginia, Miss Spanberger is going to win the governorship in Virginia, the Democrat, and Mickey Sherrill, the Democrat candidate in New Jersey, has a sizable lead, with almost 80% of the vote in New Jersey. What I'm finding really surprising, down in Virginia, George, you might remember there was a real big thing that came out last month about texting, that the Virginia Attorney General candidate on the Democrat side.
Yeah, there were some comments made.
Some old text came out about wanting to kill a Republican colleague and his children.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
So now you know why I don't text.
Exactly.
Yeah, no record.
But
it's awful.
It looks like he's going to win. He's going to win. He's going to beat the incumbent, Mieres, for Attorney General in Virginia on that. Mayor's race in New York City, Zoran Mondami, with 86% of the vote is leading 987,714 to 810,919. Andrew Cuomo, who earlier in the day was endorsed by President Trump, basically saying the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Type of thing.
And of course, he supported the other candidates in Virginia, so it looks like there was a referendum.
He never endorsed. Trump never endorsed the candidates in Virginia.
I thought he did.
No.
I know in Jersey.
He had
rallies last
but
night
he
for
never
them.
came out and formally endorsed them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he did Jack Ciattarelli in New Jersey.
And also, before we go to the top of the hour, CBS News, we're going to try to get some candidates on with us throughout the course of the night. We actually just got a confirmation. Jason Scott's going to join us at 10:15, our first really declared winner of the night as well, defeating Democrat challenger Patrick Mahoney. And as we get some more winners declared, we'll try to reach out to those folks and try to get them on the air with us throughout the course of the evening.
Sounds good. Makes things interesting.
Oh, yeah, always fun to talk with some of the winners, and especially the folks that have kind of been around before and can tell us, some of the things they've accomplished and what they're looking forward to, and some of the new folks that might be stepping in as well as far as what they're looking to accomplish after winning here tonight. We're coming up to the top of the hour. CBS News on the way next. Again, you're listening to WMBS Uniontown. We'll have more election coverage coming your way here right after the top of the hour here on WMBS Uniontown. Stay tuned. CBS News on the way right now.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Voter turnout was strong for New York's mayoral race.
I think if New York voted for someone and elected a mayor that is a self-proclaimed socialist, I think that the Democrats nationally have no chance of really regaining any power. And I think that would be bad for the country.
CBS News estimates when the votes are counted, self-described Democratic socialist Zoran Mamdani will become New York City's first Muslim mayor. This man chose Mamdani.
He seemed to have a lot of energy and cares for the city. And I saw a lot of things on the ballot about housing and affordability, and I think he's trying to tackle it.
CBS News projects that Democrat Abigail Spanberger will become Virginia's first female governor.
Those who were supporting my opponent are disappointed today. And to those Virginians who did not vote for me, I want you to know that my goal and my intent is to serve all Virginians.
CBS News projects that Democratic candidate Mikey Sherrill wins the election for governor of New Jersey, defeating Republican candidate Jack Ciattarelli. A UPS cargo jet crashes shortly after takeoff from Louisville, Kentucky airport and goes up in flames in an industrial area. Authorities say the death toll has climbed.
Flight 2976 departed runway 17 right and went down 3 miles south of the airfield. I can confirm a total number of 4 fatalities and 11 injured that were transported to local hospitals at this time.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear adding,
Because of the nature of these facilities, it may be some time before we can account for everyone or know that no one else was on the grounds.
The UPS plane was loaded with fuel as it was headed for Honolulu. The National Transportation Safety Board is sending a team to the site. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says if the government is not reopened soon, it could lead to more action. CBS's Chris Van Cleve.
He says the FAA may be forced to close certain parts of the nation's airspace because they won't be able to manage it. They won't have enough air traffic controllers. His concern is the already surging number of air traffic controllers calling in sick. Those numbers will climb even higher.
The Trump administration said it would tap a contingency fund to pay SNAP benefits. President Trump today said on social media that the benefits would go out when Democrats end the shutdown. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt clarifying,
the administration is fully complying with the court order. I just spoke to the president about it. The recipients of these SNAP benefits need to understand it's going to take some time to receive this money.
Pizza Hut's parent company says it's considering selling the chain. This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Quote today at Progressive.com.
Here's the tale of the daily med fill. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap Good RX, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. The deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang, that one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
One country's aiming to wipe out cigarette smoking among young people.
Born after 2006? If so, there's no smoking allowed for you in the Maldives. The country is the first to institute a general smoking ban. The new law states that anyone born after January 1st of 2007 is prohibited from purchasing, using, or being sold tobacco products. The World Health Organization estimates at least 21% of the archipelago's population over the age of 15 smoke cigarettes on a daily basis. The ban also extends to tourists drawn to the Maldives' picture-perfect beaches. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Chrysler is recalling thousands of Jeep plug-in hybrid vehicles due to a faulty battery that can fail and lead to a fire. Owners of the Jeep Wranglers from model years 2020 to 2025 and Jeep Grand Cherokees from model years 2022 to 2026 are being advised to park the vehicles outside and away from a structure until they come up with a fix. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
The WMBS Weather Watch brought to you by Autoland Hyundai, your hometown Hyundai dealer on East Fayette Street. America's best warranty at Autoland. They feature a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection. Overnight low 42, rain moving in Wednesday at 66, overnight low 37, 53 with sun Thursday for the weekend, rain likely Friday at 66, overnight low down below 50 at 48 Friday night. For the weekend, Saturday sun, 58, low at 46 with showers Saturday night. Rain likely Sunday, maybe some light snow at 52, low at 30 and 34 for the high Monday, low down at 22 in the evening. The WMBS Weather Watch brought to you by Autoland. They're on East Fayette Street. They have America's #1 warranty at Autoland. They feature a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection at Autoland Hyundai of Uniontown. Your local station is Fayette's first and finest. Your home for America's best music, talk, and sports. 590 and 101.1 W266 DB WMBS Uniontown. Decision 2025 general election coverage is being brought to you by Sandy Howell Notary Services, the Tiberi Law Office, and Attorney Vincent Tiberi. Super 8 by Wyndham Uniontown, best in Fayette for hotels and lodging, Autoland Hyundai of Uniontown, and by West Media Group. More than political consultants, West Media Group is a full-service advertising agency.
Back inside our studios here at 10:06 p.m., we now have 72 of 77 precincts reported countywide, and we've had some races that have flipped here over the last couple of minutes. We'll start with some countywide races. First for Recorder of Deeds, again, 93.5% of the vote in countywide, and the Republican incumbent John R. Marietta Jr. now in the lead over James Santilli. Marietta 14,490 votes. James Santilli with 13,787 votes. You're looking at about a 700 vote lead for John Marietta over James Santilli. In the county treasurer's race, Melissa Tizan has increased her lead over Matt Lancaster by about 3,000 votes. Tizan 15,606 votes. That's 55% of the overall. Matt Lancaster with 12,591 votes. 44% of the overall for Matt Lancaster in that race. So, guys, we've seen a pretty big swing in both of those races. Some of the early numbers that we had in that favored both of the Democrats now to the numbers that we're seeing favoring both of the Republicans. I think certainly the Santilli-Marietta race could still go either way, but Melissa Tizan certainly sitting pretty over Matthew Lancaster in the county treasurer's race.
And of course, we don't know the other 5 precincts. Brian, do you have them?
As far as what's out, I can find out here in just a moment.
I had them. It was Bolskin 2. Oh boy, where'd that go? I had that.
Well, I can find that out for you guys here in just a moment, too. As far
probably
as
the next update, it should be complete.
We'll have the last update. It should be our last one that'll give us all the details, but I'll be able to pull up here and let you know the 5 missing precincts that we don't have vote totals in yet county-wide so far. So, give me just a second here. And the ones that we're missing right now appear to be the Bell Vernon borough race, which is just basically in the northern segment of Fayette County. And what else are we missing here?
There was Perryopolis borough. There was
correct. I don't have anything in Perryopolis in either.
Boleskine 2. Did I see Luzerne? Was one. I had that, and I'm trying to find out where the heck it went.
One of the Brownsville boroughs also is not reported yet, as far as the totals that I have. So again, we'll continue to watch that.
And Henry Clay hasn't reported yet.
So those are the ones that we're missing right now. And again, once we get the final totals in, we'll pass those along. One race that we did declare earlier tonight, where 100% of the votes in South Union Township. Incumbent Jason Scott with 2,071 votes. The Democrat challenger Patrick Mahoney, 1,485 votes. So Jason Scott retaining another 6-year term for South Union Township Supervisor. Jason's going to join us here in about 5 minutes on WMBS. Also, Paul Richardson winning for South Union Township Auditor over Brenda Early. Richardson, 1,876 votes. Brenda Early, 1,519 votes.
Unless I'm getting my Richardson mixed up, he ran for
commissioner. Yeah, I think maybe
he ran for
township supervisor.
Yes,
excuse me. Yeah, about 4 years ago.
Yeah,
I think that was against Bob Schiffbauer maybe 4 years back.
The township's not reporting. Boleskine Township 2.
Okay.
Luzerne 2. Henry Clay Township, Perryopolis Borough, and Uniontown City 2.
Okay, and we are missing that one borough for Uniontown School Director as well. Again, you have right now the top 4 vote getters: Stacy Brandt, William Rittenhouse, Chris Gearing, and Don Regula. And Regula, who is in 4th place right now, about a 300-vote lead over Mary Sykes, who's on the outside looking in. And that's the only contested school board race tonight. All of the other school districts with basically 4 candidates going for 4 spots. So Uniontown, the only one really worth watching tonight as well, as we look at some of the local races. And also, we mentioned the one district not in for Uniontown, still waiting to officially declare the city council race there. But Vincent Winfrey and John Schoner, the top 2 vote getters in that race, both Democrats, and Republican incumbent Jared Billy on the outside looking in with 462 votes. Billy's had a couple of terms on Uniontown City Council. Unfortunately for him, it looks like that's going to end after this election. Nick, anything standing out to you on anything that you've seen here? Georgia stepped out just to try to set up a few things as well for us.
Looking at the statewide races on Pennsylvania Superior Court, the Associated Press has 60% of the votes in, according to the website as I updated here, and Democrat Brandon Newman in the lead there with 56.1% of the vote, 1,183,477 votes. Maria Batista, the Republican candidate, with 883,784 votes, just under 42% of the vote, and the Libertarian candidate, Daniel Wasmer, at 2% with over 42,790 votes.
So how much are we looking at statewide? Nick, about 42% of the vote in, did you say there?
61%.
61%.
Press reported,
okay.
Yes. And then moving on to Pennsylvania Commonwealth Court with 60% of the votes counted there. Still at Tesai, the Democrat in the lead at 57%, 1,194,334 votes to Matt Wolford, the Republican candidate, at 43.1% of the vote, 906,147. And then the Superior Court to retain Alice Dubois, the Associated Press has called that yes at 1,223,430 votes, 62% to 37.7%. at just under 740,000 votes. And to retain Michael Widesick on the Commonwealth Court, the Associated Press calls it yes at 62.5%, 1,235,741 votes. And the no vote at 38%, 761,971. That's the statewide races on the Superior and Commonwealth Court.
Russ, you surprised that all those retention votes weren't a little bit closer, especially with the push for no?
Yeah, I was. I really was, and still am on that. A lot of... I think people just, not informed.
Yeah,
really.
I agree.
Or,
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to cause anybody to lose his job. So
Yeah. It is surprising the way that works with the retentions, that you wouldn't just have an election every 10 years. I mean, because 10 years is still a long time, I think, for any term as well.
And I think another thing that they don't realize that, okay, you vote to not retain. That judge still has the option then to run for election. It's not like he's kicked out altogether.
Yeah.
He can run for that seat again. It's just it's going to be, he's going to have competition this time.
We actually had one question online about Spring Hill Township. They have a contested race for township auditor. That's 100% in. And Democrat Sean Helen, the winner there over David Nichols. Helen with 358 votes, David Nichols with 217 votes in that race. That's Spring Hill Township. We're going to have Jason Scott, who won tonight and retained his spot for South Union Township Supervisor, joining us here. And I believe we have Jason on the line with us right now. And Jason's going to join us here and discuss his win over Democrat challenger Patrick Mahoney tonight. And we have Jason on the line. And Jason, first off, congratulations, winning another 6-year term for South Union Township Supervisor. I know you guys have put in a lot of work over the last 6 years, and certainly it's been a tough campaign, but I'm sure you're celebrating here tonight.
Oh yeah, Brian, we are. I got my whole team down here at Casey's, and everybody's celebrating and just having a good time. It's a lot of stress off of my back, I can tell you that.
I'm sure. Just talk about the whole process here, basically going back to when the campaign season started almost a year ago.
Yeah, it's a long time, let me tell you. When you have to run in the primary and the general, it's a long summer. But I had a great team. I mean, I can't thank my team enough. I had the guys I work with every day help me. My wife, of course, all the Vernons, all my friends. I just can't thank them enough.
We also have Russ Rhodes and Nick Barczyk here, along with George Rattale. Turn it over to Russ and see if he has a question for you as well.
Yeah, so congratulations, Jason, on another 6 years there. So, moving forward, what are your main goals for the next 6 years?
We have so many projects right now with grants. I mean, I have a $2.6 million grant that's getting ready to start on Matthew Drive. It's going to rehabilitate the whole Matthew Drive, one of the busiest roads in the county. And we have that going on. Of course, everybody's talking about the country club. That was a big talk today. A lot of people came up to me, want to know what's going on with the country club. And we're going to, move forward with that process just to see if the numbers work and everything. So that'll be probably in the next couple months, that'll be on my plate to, see if that works out. Okay. And but we have a ton of projects. I mean, we have grants in for, we just finished up all the lights on the Sheepskin Trail. That was a great grant that we just finished up. We'll have to get that closed out so we can get paid for that. But we have a lot of good things going on in the township.
I'll tell you what, I actually have used those lights, Jason, over the last week or so, and they are fantastic there throughout the Sheepskin Trail. I know you're still working on one little section. You guys are about done with that as well, but just so nice, especially now with the sun setting at 5 o'clock, to be able to take some walks when the weather's still warm in the evening hours after finishing work. Certainly is nice.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I tell you, that was one of the first projects I worked on with Bob Schiffbauer and Rick Vernon putting in the trail. And when we put that trail in, it was busy right off the bat, and I thought, well, this will fade, you know what I mean? It's just new. It's never faded. It grows. I mean, in the wintertime, we'll get 6 inches of snow, and my youngest son has a plow on his side-by-side, and he'll go down and plow it, And before he's done plowing it, there's people following him with the plow, walking with 6 inches of snow on the trail. And I'm sure with the lights now, it'll be even more.
Yeah, it's amazing. Sometimes you guys have the trails sometimes in better shape than some of the roads in some of the neighboring boroughs. So it's always nice to see. And, obviously you mentioned you guys have done a lot of great projects here over the last 6 years since the time that you've been in there as well. And it's interesting because obviously I live in South Union Township as well, and you guys have not increased taxes. At least I've lived in the township for 20 years going back. But what has been your key to success when you're seeing, obviously we had to go through a county tax increase over the past year, and then we've seen Uniontown City, they've had to increase taxes. What's been the difference that you think you guys have been able to do successfully over the years where South Union has not had to endure some of these tax increases like we've had to endure both countywide and maybe in the neighboring Uniontown City?
I think mainly, we have all the retail. We have all, the high-end developments. Our tax base is higher than most of the townships. And I think that's one thing. The mercantile tax carries us. But it's all about budgeting. It's no different. It doesn't matter how much money you make, even in your household. If you spend more than you make, you're going to have to raise taxes. And I think that's basically what goes on is sometimes I think, and it's nothing against any of the other politicians, it's just you have to be mentally prepared to handle money. I mean, it's one thing to handle a $100,000 household budget, but when you're handling, $6 million, it can get easy to get out of hand. And I think that's what happens. People get elected to these positions and they're not prepared to handle money. And I think that's basically and we've been fortunate in South Union Township. I'm not just me, I've only been there 12 years, but the supervisors prior to me, I don't think taxes have been raised since 1950.
Wow.
So you're 75 years in with no tax increase. And I'm telling you right now, as long as I'm there, there'll never be a tax increase because we're sitting on a decent amount of money. And, people say, well, if you have so much money, why don't we can't lower our taxes. I mean, like, Brian, your house, you probably pay like $150 in township taxes for the year.
I've never broken it down, but I agree you're probably right. I mean, just as far as, what's going to the county and what's going to the township and everything, you're probably pretty close.
Right. Yeah, but I think, if we can make this country club thing work, I think that's going to be a big asset to our township. I mean, if the numbers work, we can come to an agreement with the owners now. I know we can go after grant funding to make that place, bring it back to the way it was, and I have full-heartedly believe that we can do that.
I know I had a lot of folks, especially I actually hosted the show through the township with you about the country club, and I think a lot of folks have asked questions as far as how you can make that feasible when the country club right now might be losing money, and as you mentioned, a lot of that is grant-related.
Exactly, and I tell people, when you're owning a business, it's for profit. When you're a township, we're a nonprofit. We just got to balance a net zero. So it's a lot easier to run a business when you don't need to make money. You just need to make sure that it covers the expenses. So, and I know we can do that. And like I said, I know we can get grant money every year to carry and make it, better every year. So I feel really good that we can make that happen.
Well, Jason, great job. And someone who's never run for office, and most people listening haven't, what is a campaign like? I mean, how do you go about running a campaign, and how have you been so successful, staying on the job, basically?
Well, I'll tell you, here's what it takes. You better have a lot of friends. You better have a family that's willing to be scrutinized, to put it lightly. My kids were drugged into this election, my wife, everything. So you have to make sure that you have a strong team, and you have to have some thick skin. I mean, I'm proud of my team. We kept a clean campaign. I mean, we never even mentioned my opponent in any of our things. And we just based my campaign on what we've accomplished over the last 12 years. And I'm proud to say that, we kept it clean, because you see so many times that these elections get so dirty. But we kept a clean election, and I'm proud of, my family and all my friends.
Well, Jason, again, congratulations again, and we look forward to your leadership here over the next 6 years in South Union Township.
Hey, guys, thank you very much, and I appreciate all your support.
Thank you.
Congrats, Jason. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Jason Scott, who defeated Patrick Mahoney for South Union Township Supervisor, joining us here this evening. And Russ, I know you've been a part of a number of these races, and as Jason said, it's tough when you kind of get your family at times drug into a lot of these races, and you get stuff even now that's even maybe grown since the last time you ran for office through social media, and just trying to deal with all that can't be easy.
No, it's not, and you know, you try and silence that in your own head, but when it's your, when it's your own family, it's tough to not take it personally and say, they're not running, they didn't ask for this, it's me, and so yeah, I understand what Jason is saying. You want to try and keep it positive, and he did. As he said, he didn't mention Patrick's name in this at all.
And I think Patrick has a bright future as well. And he was in here, with us recording some commercials, has been on the air, a bright kid, and I think he's going to do very well politically down the road as well. And I think this was a good introduction for him. And he gave Jason a pretty good race.
He did. Sure, absolutely.
And I think, especially if you look at what his dad was able to accomplish in the past, and I think, he's going to have some bright things ahead of him, as well over the next couple of years. Yeah, if he chooses to move forward as well, too. Absolutely. But I think this was certainly a good introduction to him as well.
And, it's nice to see young folks getting involved.
I agree, too.
In politics and moving forward. And, and actually, it's nice to see new candidates,
correct,
regardless of age.
Yep.
You don't want to see the same people year in, year out. And
how many times we say, "Oh, they're running again"?
Yeah. Absolutely. What are they doing this time?
Look at Congress. Yeah. Jeez, a whiz.
They were on the ballot last year for this, and now they're trying for this.
No, I hear you. It's certainly good to see bright faces, and certainly we hope to see more of those over the next couple of years as well, no matter what the open position might be. So again, just to recap real quick. Countywide right now, we have 72 of 77 precincts that have been reported in. The two major county races, John Marietta with 14,490 votes, James Santilli 13,787 votes. And right now, Marietta about a 700 vote lead. And that was a big flip because Santilli was with a rather large amount of votes over Marietta early on, and Melissa Tizan a more comfortable lead over Matt Lancaster. And Lancaster, when again the early precincts were reported and we had a lot of mail-in votes that were in, had the early lead. But right now, Melissa Tizan, another Republican incumbent, 15,606 votes. Lancaster, 12,591 votes on the Democratic side for county treasurer.
I was looking at some other numbers here. Yes, right now it appears like John Marietta is going to win re-election. What's interesting in that race so far, a total of 28,322 votes have been cast. In the county treasurers, 28,239. So almost 100 votes almost 100 votes less.
Could have basically had 100 people just chose not to vote in the other race.
More people came out to vote, or more people voted in the recorder of deeds.
Correct, than treasurer.
And yet he had an undervote right now of 1,116 votes compared to Melissa Tizan.
Yeah, that is interesting.
So people, he's going to win re-election, it looks like, but there's a lot of people out there that are like, no, we don't like the way he handled things.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Again, we'll have a county commissioner race coming up in 2 years as well, and certainly there's been a lot of traction over what's transpired. You've already had one county commissioner, Dave Lohr, that resigned a few months ago as well. Harry Kaufman taking his slot. And I think we'll see a lot of questions coming up there because a lot of folks, I think, in the county, certainly have been pretty upset about the last tax increase.
I think it's time for 3 new commissioners.
Yeah, we will see what happens.
I know Harry Kaufman's only been in there for, 6 months. 3 new commissioners.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he chooses to do as well because he came in and he had said initially that, he was looking at just kind of finishing out the term. But
hearing that he's talking about running. So, I think it's time that Fayette County has 3 new commissioners. My one big fear is that you're going to get 10 candidates come out on each side to try and unseat the incumbents. if that happens, the incumbents get reelected.
Yeah. So we'll see what ends up, transpiring here. Just still 2 years to play that out. So, certainly a long road ahead as far as that race goes.
Absolutely.
So we're coming up here at 10:27. We'll take a quick timeout and be back with more election coverage. Again, 72 of the 77 precincts have been reported so far, and we'll see what ends up coming out here in the final 5 precincts in Fayette County on election night 2025 here on WMBS.
Politics is a tough business. Getting your message out to voters takes a good strategy. West Media Group and their strategic expertise and creative capabilities have helped to elect many notable Fayette County office holders, including Judges Steve Leskinen, Nancy Vernon, and Linda Cordero, retired State Senator Rich Kasunik, former State Representative Tim Mahoney, District Attorney Rich Bauer, District Judges Wendy Dennis, Dan Shimshock, and Rich Kasunik, County Commissioner Vince Vasides. West Media Group has also successfully managed several prominent races in neighboring counties. A full-service strategic marketing company and advertising agency, West Media Group can develop a plan for websites and e-marketing programs. To complete strategic advertising plans, call West Media Group at 724-532-3300 or visit them at westmediagroup.com. They get results.
Located on Route 40 and voted best in Fayette Hotel and Lodging, Super 8 in Uniontown offers value and amenities like free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and guest laundry to help make your stay hassle-free. The staff at Super 8 Uniontown is committed to providing consistent quality, exceptional service, and affordable accommodations. Their prime location offers jacuzzi suites and a true Fayette County hospitality with easy access to nearby attractions, dining, and entertainment for you to enjoy. As part of the trusted Wyndham brand, Super 8 provides a consistent and reliable experience. Book direct at super8.com.
The Tiberi Law Office and attorney Vincent M. Tiberi specialize in criminal defense, wills and estates, family law, and personal injury. The Tiberi Law Office is located at 84 East Main Street, across the street from the Fayette County Courthouse in Uniontown. When you need to consult an attorney, make your first call to attorney Vincent M. Tiberi and the Tiberi Law Office. It'll be the only call you need to make. Phone 724-430-0300 or visit their website at tiberiLawOffice.com. The Tiberi Law Office. Small town, big results. Chris Parker Jr., Trick or Treat is over. What's going on at Autoland?
Treats continue here at Autoland with 0% for 60 months on all 25 Tucsons and Santa Fe's.
0% for 60 months?
That's right, 0% for 5 years on the award-winning all-wheel drive Tucson and Santa Fe's with third-row seating, plus 0% on the hybrid Tucson and Santa Fe's. Don't want 0% financing? Choose HMF bonus cash up to $4,500 on Santa Fe's. Winter weather is coming. Now's the time to get your all-wheel drive SUV with 0% financing and have a vehicle big enough for the family and hauling gifts. Did you know Hyundai is also the most awarded brand by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety for the past 2 years?
And every new Hyundai purchase includes Hyundai Assurance, America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain protection, and 3-year free complimentary maintenance. Autoland Hyundai, downtown Uniontown, or online at AutolandHyundai.com.
And you always pay less to drive the best at Autoland Hyundai.
Do you need a fast, friendly notary service that is open in the evening? Sandy Howell Notary Services is here for you, offering new PA and West Virginia plates and ready to assist with your vehicle, boat, motorcycle, and ATV registrations and transfers, plate renewals, and more. Serving Fayette County and all surrounding areas. Open weekdays from 10 to 8:30 and Saturdays from 9 to 5. Sandy Howell Notary Services, Dry Knob Road, Smithfield. Call 724-564-8955. Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you by name.
News Special Report. CBS News estimates when the votes are counted, Democrat Zoran Mamdani will become New York City's mayor. CBS News projects Democratic candidate Abigail Spanberger wins the election for governor of Virginia and projects Democratic candidate Mikey Sherrill wins the election for governor of New Jersey, telling her supporters about liberty and prosperity.
And as the president is backing away from this ideal, cutting SNAP, ripping away health care, terminating Gateway, we here in New Jersey are bound to fight for a different future for our children.
Kentucky's governor says the death toll has reached at least 7 after a UPS plane crashed into an industrial area today. Louisville Airport Public Safety Officer Jonathan Biven.
Louisville Airport Dispatch, an Alert 3 call regarding UPS flight number 2976, an MD-11 cargo plane that took off en route to Honolulu, Hawaii.
CBS News Special Report, I'm Jennifer Kuiper.
10:32 on election night inside our WMBS studios. 72 of 77 precincts reporting in the 2025 general election here in Fayette County. And right now, again, we are looking at totals that are incomplete as of this time, but we've seen some Republican flips, Russ, for some of the folks just joining us. John Marietta, the incumbent Republican, now in the lead for Recorder of Deeds over Democrat challenger James Santilli. Marietta's lead by about 700 votes right now, 14,490 for Marietta. Santilli with 13,787. Melissa Tizan, a little bit of a healthier lead, about a 3,000 vote lead over Matt Lancaster in the county treasurer's race.
Right, and I don't, with the 5 precincts that we're still waiting on, I don't think there is enough votes there for either Matt Lancaster or Jim Santilli to overcome those differences.
And again, both Lancaster and Santilli had rather large leads early on that have been chipped away throughout the course of the night. And again, right now, both Republicans currently leading in that race. We had a question about Fairchance in the borough mayor's race there. We do have 100% of the vote in the mayor's race in Fairchance, and Republican Gregory Heiss, the winner with 228 votes. The Democrat Thomas Tanner with 199 votes. So Heiss over Tanner for the borough mayor race in the Fairchance borough tonight. Also for borough tax collector in Fairchance, Laura McDonough, another Republican, defeating Democrat Vicky Tate. McDonough 226 votes. Tate 185 votes in that race. The borough council race in Fairchance just had 4 candidates for 4 spots, so nothing contested there in Fairchance. So again, congratulations to Gregory Heiss and Laura McDonough, the 2 winners in Fairchance tonight as well. During our last segment, we had Jason Scott on with us. He retains his spot for another 6-year term as South Union Township Supervisor, defeating Patrick Mahoney tonight, with all 3 districts reporting in South Union Township. In the city of Uniontown, it looks like Vincent Winfrey and John Schoner are going to be the 2 winners there. 6 of the 7 precincts in the city of Uniontown, and Winfrey and Schoner healthy leads over their closest 2 challengers, Gary Altman and Jared Billy. So the 2 Democrats winning there for Uniontown City Council. And you guys had mentioned, I don't know if it was you, Nick, or George, or even you, Russ, had mentioned that Jared Billy had actually flipped since the last election from Democrat to Republican. You wonder how that impacted the race tonight in the city of Uniontown.
Yeah, and we had him on my show back in the spring, I think prior to the primary, actually, he was on, and I asked him about that. And basically the answer was, my values more align with the Republican Party now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But tough because generally the city of Uniontown has voted more Democratic over the years.
Yeah, I don't know the numbers, but I do know that Democrat registration in the city surpasses Republican registration.
So you'll have at least one new, probably one new member of Borough Council, with Schoner replacing Jared Billy when the next cycle starts here in a couple of months, once all the election results are certified. They actually did move. They had a scheduled Uniontown City Council meeting for this Thursday and actually pushed it back 2 weeks. So the next city council meeting is not going to be, I believe, the 17th or 18th, somewhere in that neighborhood, coming up here in a few weeks. So we'll keep our eye on that as well. Anything shaking in your neighborhood, Nick?
Let's see here as we update. We have the retention.
We lost George Rattay. We don't know where George went.
Where did George go?
Someplace.
Let's update these numbers here.
Maybe he got kidnapped.
I don't know.
Maybe he did. We know that Pittsburgh has elected a new mayor, Corey O'Connor, winning there, and Pennsylvania Supreme Court retention. The yes is going to win, it looks like. I'm not sure if we covered that officially, but for Christine Donahue, yes, 61% of the vote to 39% for yes, and that's been called. Same goes for David Wecht. Yes vote 61% to 39%, 60.7 to 39.3 in favor of yes, and Kevin M. Dougherty at 61% to 39, 60.8 to 39.2 with the yes winning there. So we talked about that a little bit. Russ not surprised with that result, I believe, and let's see for the Superior Court and Commonwealth Court if we can update those numbers as well.
We are going to have another guest joining us as well,
okay,
Matt
good.
George, who was one of the uncontested candidates for Laurel Highlands School Board tonight.
Okay.
Of course, he retained his spot as well, but he can talk to us about his vision for Laurel Highlands over the next couple of years. And Matt's on the line with us right now, and he's going to join us here on the air. And Matt, congratulations. I know more of a formality tonight more than anything, but you certainly have to be excited on what's ahead here on the Laurel Highlands School Board for you and the rest of the new team hopping on board.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Like you said, just a formality, but it still feels good to be official, and I'm looking forward to it. And I want to congratulate all the new members and Mr. Lamon as well.
So what's your vision here for the Laurel Highlands School Board? What would you like to see changed in the district here over the next couple of years?
You know, there's a lot to unpack there, but
I know. Sorry to just throw you on the spot with that.
Yeah, I would like to see, start with, a little more transparency from the district as a whole, and just to get in there and try to work together and, get some things done and prioritize. We're facing, obviously, everyone knows about the feasibility study that was just completed and possible school closures and, the teachers' contracts with the union are coming up. So we have a lot of big things coming up, and, I look forward to working with the other board members to make the best decision.
So, Matt, congratulations. This is Russ Rhodes here.
Thank you, Russ.
It seems like every year, not just Laurel Highlands, but so many of the school districts in Fayette County just raise their taxes year after year after year. I know that's not the case, but that perception is there anyway. How do you go about reversing that trend?
Well, you're right. It does seem like that, and our millage rate in the school district is about 21 mills, which is a large chunk, the largest chunk of the taxpayers' money goes to the school district, and I think that we just to save, we're at a $68 million budget. And to save large amounts, a lot of it lies within the contracts that we agree to and that we vote on. That's where you're going to save a lot of money, to really dive into those contracts and see. Others, we got to see, where we're at with some what we're paying out, to our large administrators or whatever other costs are in there, but we have to cut drastically, and I don't know which contracts it would be, but we have to try to dive into a lot of the contracts to see where we can save, whether it be transportation or food costs or what have you. There's a lot of things that work against us as far as the online schools. PA Cyber is a huge expense. When a kid leaves the district, that they it costs the district a lot of money to pay for that student.
You run a number of businesses in the area as well. How much can that business experience that you're getting from that standpoint kind of help you on the Laurel Highlands School Board, where you also have to balance even a bigger budget?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it may be bigger numbers, but it's still, at the end of the day, you need to bring in more than you spend, right? That goes from a household budget to a $68 million school budget. And it does help me having that experience to really just try to simplify and see where we can cut and see where we can save money.
Yeah, certainly a lot of challenges, Russ, for Matt and the rest of the crew. If you look at it, mention the teachers, you mentioned have to deal with, coaches in athletics as well, and obviously the number of, budget challenges.
So just a thought here, Matt. I know, school district consolidation mergers have been discussed in the past and has kind of been set aside, saying, no, we're not going to go there. Are there other areas, though, that you could join forces with other school districts to bring down costs? Do a combined transportation thing or food or, something like that just the little things that might be able to be combined, and therefore savings not just for Laurel Highlands, but the other school districts in the county.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it has been a topic of discussion before, and it was countywide. I don't know about that, but would it make sense to merge with some neighboring districts to pack in our transportation together? Maybe. I think with the state budget, they don't even have it out this year. We don't know what we're getting from the state.
Right.
And it seems like it's less and less every year, and it's not just Laurel Highlands. It's middle of the state, these smaller schools, they're struggling everywhere. So it seems like it's almost what the state government kind of wants to see without mandating it, if you know what I mean, Russ.
Yeah.
Now, of course, there's been real talks about that, but it's definitely it makes you wonder how you can save these big savings that we need to save, because we cannot just continue to keep going to the taxpayer.
Has there ever been any thought? Has there ever been any thought? Obviously, you're new to this as far as the school board goes, but as we're talking right now, I'm seeing some comments on our feed from Stacy Brand, who's running for Uniontown school director as well, and said she loves your idea of working together to benefit everyone. So, is there any thought of talking with the Uniontown school directors, the Fraser school directors, or Brownsville and Albert Gallatin, and you guys maybe having some kind of joint session to figure out what can we do to maybe help everybody out?
Yeah, I mean, put it this way. I think there's definitely there's been a thought about it, meeting it and just laying it out. Obviously, you're talking, I don't know Uniontown's budget, but at least probably $60 million. AG's is up there. It'd be a lot to unfold, but it's probably not a bad idea to have conversations, because, like I said, to make up some of the deficit, you have to make major cost savings, and that would be one way to do it.
Well, Matt, again, congratulations. We appreciate taking the time to join us. You're going to be busy here over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, and I thank you, and I want to thank everyone who supported me and for all the help that I had throughout this election. Most of the stress was early on in May, but it still is. It was a stressful little time there, but I'm glad that it's behind us, and I'm looking forward to getting to work for the school district.
Matt, just a real quick, school board directors, you get sworn in fairly soon, don't you? If I remember correctly.
December 1st
Okay.
we get sworn in, and that's the same night as the reorganization meeting.
All right.
Well, Matt, we'll see you at some of the meetings, and again, looking forward to seeing you on the Laurel Highlands School Board here soon.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good night.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and that's Matt George joining us. He was one of 4 candidates for Laurel Highlands School Board. It was kind of more of a formality more than anything tonight, with those 4 candidates all going through on the Laurel Highlands side. Tom Landman, Matt George, Debbie Conway-Cunningham, and Miranda Novak. And the one school director race that has not been called yet is for Uniontown, where they have 6 of the 7 precincts reporting. We're hoping to get our final update of the night with, again, just a couple of precincts still out there. But again, in the Uniontown race, you have Stacy Brandt, William Rittenhouse, Chris Gearing, and Donna Regula, the top 4 vote getters, with Mary Sykes currently in 5th place on the outside looking in. So we'll take a quick timeout coming up on about 14 minutes until 11 o'clock, Election Night 2025, here on your local station, WMBS. And we'll see if we can get some of these final numbers in for you soon.
Politics is a tough business. Getting your message out to voters takes a good strategy. West Media Group and their strategic expertise and creative capabilities have helped to elect many notable Fayette County office holders, including Judges Steve Leskinen, Nancy Vernon, and Linda Cordero, retired State Senator Rich Kasunik, former State Representative Tim Mahoney, District Attorney Rich Bauer, District Judges Wendy Dennis, Dan Shimshock, and Rich Kasunik, County Commissioner Vince Vasidis. West Media Group has also successfully managed several prominent races in neighboring counties. A full-service strategic marketing company and advertising agency, West Media Group can develop a plan for success for your business or organization, just as they have done for so many candidates for office. For websites and e-marketing programs, to complete strategic advertising plans, call West Media Group at 724-532-3300 or visit them at westmediagroup.com. They get results.
Located on Route 40 and voted best in Fayette Hotel and Lodging, Super 8 in Uniontown offers value and amenities like free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and guest laundry to help make your stay hassle-free. The staff at Super 8 Uniontown is committed to providing consistent quality, exceptional service, and affordable accommodations. Their prime location offers jacuzzi suites and a true Fayette County hospitality with easy access to nearby attractions, dining, and entertainment for you to enjoy. As part of the trusted Wyndham brand, Super 8 provides a consistent and reliable experience. Book direct at super8.com.
The Tiberi Law Office and attorney Vincent M. Tiberi specialize in criminal defense, wills and estates, family law, and personal injury. The Tiberi Law Office is located at 84 East Main Street, across the street from the Fayette County Courthouse in Uniontown. When you need to consult an attorney, make your first call to attorney Vincent M. Tiberi and the Tiberi Law Office. It'll be the only call you need to make. Phone 724-430-0300 or visit their website at tiberiLawOffice.com. The Tiberi Law Office. Small town, big results. Chris Parker Jr., Trick or Treat is over. What's going on at Autoland?
Treats continue here at Autoland with 0% for 60 months on all 25 Tucsons and Santa Fe's.
0% for 60 months?
That's right, 0% for 5 years on the award-winning all-wheel drive Tucson and Santa Fe's with third-row seating, plus 0% on the hybrid Tucson and Santa Fe's. Don't want 0% financing? Choose HMF bonus cash up to $4,500 on Santa Fe's. Winter weather is coming. Now's the time to get your all-wheel drive SUV with 0% financing and have a vehicle big enough for the family and hauling gifts. Did you know Hyundai is also the most awarded brand by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety for the past 2 years?
And every new Hyundai purchase includes Hyundai Assurance, America's Best Warranty, 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain protection, and 3-year free complimentary maintenance. Autoland Hyundai, downtown Uniontown, or online at AutolandHyundai.com.
And you always pay less to drive the best at Autoland Hyundai.
When you need notary services, trust the best. Sandy Howell Notary Services, back-to-back gold medal winner for Best Notary in Fayette County. They're here for you with extended hours to fit your schedule. Sandy Howell's also the 2025 gold medal winner for Best Title Company. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 8:30, and Saturdays, 9 to 5. Call 724-564-8955 today for Sandy Howell Notary Services, where excellence is signed and sealed.
Coming up on 10 minutes until 11 o'clock on election night. And guys, we have 100%, 77 of 77 precincts reported inside of Fayette County. We do want to pass along. George just didn't leave because he wanted to leave. He did have a family emergency to take care of, so certainly hope everything works out good for the Rattay family tonight. But for the county race for Recorder of Deeds, John Marietta completing his comeback tonight. The Republican incumbent with 15,501 votes, defeating Democrat challenger James Santilli, who finished with 14,303 votes. Marietta 51% of the overall, Santilli 47% of the overall in that race. Also, Republican incumbent for county treasurer Melissa Tizan, she was down early, but rallies back to defeat Matt Lancaster by about 3,500 votes. Tizan, 16,657 votes. Lancaster, 13,065 votes in that race for county treasurer. We're also watching the city of Uniontown race as well for both the school board race in Uniontown and also the city council race in Uniontown. We're going to have John Marietta, by the way, joining us in just a moment here as well after we pass along these numbers. But Vince Winfrey and John Schoner, the two winners there on the city council race in the city of Uniontown. Winfrey, 1,102 votes. Schoner, 800 votes. Altman and Jared Billy on the outside looking in, and certainly tough for us for Jared Billy tonight, a Republican incumbent, losing his seat to John Schoner for Uniontown City Council.
Yeah, Uniontown is one of the last Democratic strongholds right now in Fayette County. So, again, I don't know what the actual breakdown is, but Uniontown is heavy on Democratic registration. So, it looks like everybody to quote an old phrase, pulled the straight party ticket.
And also, we were watching the Uniontown School Board race, and the numbers are final there as well. And just like the last update that we had, the four going through, Stacy Brandt, who finishes with 2,559 votes, William Rittenhouse, 2,431, Chris Gearing, 2,550, and Don Regula, 2,568. Regula, who was down early, ended up being the top vote getter for Uniontown School Board. Mary Sykes ends up losing out there. Again, that was 5 candidates going for 4 spots
now, what's
for
interesting
Uniontown
there,
School Board.
Brian, if you know, now 3 of the candidates were cross-filed.
Correct.
Democrat and Republican. One was just strictly Democrat, one was strictly Republican.
Regula was strictly Republican,
Right.
Sykes strictly Democrat.
Who lost?
Correct.
So the strictly Democrat lost, the strictly Republican won.
And again, we also had earlier on with us tonight, Jason Scott won for South Union Township Supervisor, the Republican incumbent defeating Democrat challenger Patrick Mahoney. We've also been talking to some of the winners here tonight. And joining us right now, the winner for Fayette County Recorder of Deeds, John Marietta, the Republican incumbent. And John, first off, congratulations. Certainly a tough race. You were down early on, but managed to rally back here tonight.
Do we have John?
John, we actually lost you there for a moment. We got you back now if you want to start over there again.
I said, yeah, we mail-in ballots. We knew we were going to be down on the count on that, and we made it up. And we knew our magic number was 15,000, and we knew if we got 15,000 votes that I would win. That's how we had it figured. So I got a little over 15. I don't know what the exact total was.
15. We have you at 15,501. We have Mr. Santilli at 14,303. So we have you up about 1,200 votes in that race for Recorder of Deeds, and that's with 77 of the 77 precincts reported.
Yeah, well, I did quite well, I feel, and I want to thank all the people that voted for me. I appreciate it, and we'll keep on moving forward as time goes on.
Let's talk about all the challenges. I mean, obviously, the race heated at times throughout the fall season here, and falling behind early on. Just talk about all the emotions of everything, not only tonight, but we've had to endure here over the last couple of months.
Yeah, we had to work hard, and we had to stay focused the whole time. There's no doubt about it. And I had a good team that surrounded me. I had a lot of people, numerous people all over the county that stood up for me and let people know, let their neighbors know, and knocked on doors for me, talked to people. One of the things that we did do a little different this time than we did the last time was we used a lot more technology than what we did before. We did several different text messaging things, and we did geofencing that seemed to help out a lot. We got a lot of good results. We got a lot of good feedback from both of them things, and I really appreciate everybody that voted for me. I want to thank them, and we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna keep moving forward with this. Last time I only won by 600 votes, 650 votes or something, and I went against the establishment. I did. There's no doubt about it, and I really appreciate all the people and like I said, this has always been about we the people. It's never been about John Marietta.
What are some of your goals for the office here over the next 4 years?
Well, we're going to keep on digitizing several different things. I do want to definitely modernize. We got a couple things in the pipeline already that we're going to go forward with, and I will tell you that I couldn't have done the things I've done without my amazing staff. My and she's my, I call her my chief of staff, but she's my chief deputy, and she's done so much for me over the last 4 years, because people don't realize what it when I took that office. I had a lot of it was a big learning curve, and I still got a lot to learn, and I'm going to keep on learning over the next few years. So that's where we're at.
Russ mentioned earlier, and I think it's just worth bringing up, you ran for county commissioner 2 years ago. There's going to be a race coming up in 2 years as well. Is that something we might see you throw your hat into once again?
I'm not even wanting to even comment about that right now. I don't even want to think about it just yet.
No problem. We just have to ask the questions.
Yeah, I don't even want to comment about it right now. I can tell you that I'm happy with the results tonight, and I'm really thankful for all the people that voted for me. Going forward, we'll see what happens, and that's I don't even know what I'm having for breakfast tomorrow. So ask me what I'm going to do in 2 years from now.
I understand. I think certainly, again, congratulations on the win tonight for a lot of the candidates. I'm sure a big relief that the whole election process now behind us, and you guys can kind of go back to work here, maybe after a little bit of downtime, just to kind of regroup after everything that you guys have had to go through here over the last couple of months.
Yeah, and like I said, I have to thank WMBS too, because I know that it's been a challenge for you guys with me, and I really want to thank for you doing everything that you've done for me. I mean, of course, we paid for it, but but I do want to thank you for helping us out. And I don't have no animosity towards anybody. I can't hate anybody, but maybe I just like the way they went about things. They played a little dirty, but we got through it. And
we always try to work with, any candidate that wants to work with us, we'll try to work with you as well, and we'll try to help anybody out that comes through here. And, John, again, we've appreciated working with you as well, and, again, best of luck moving here over the next 4 years.
Yep, I appreciate it, Brian, and tell everybody in there I said thank you, and I know Nick's running the board, so I'm tickled right now. We did something that they thought we couldn't do, and this is very important. This was all about the people, for the people of Fayette County. Just like I always said, my name's not on the door of my office. It says the Recorder of Deeds for the people of Fayette County, and we're going to keep it that way.
Okay, John, congratulations. We'll talk with you soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Thanks. That's John Marietta. Again, he defeated James Santilli. Marietta, the Republican incumbent, with the win here this evening. And I know, Nick, you've been busy answering the phones here over the last couple of minutes as well. We have a minute here until CBS News at the top of the hour.
Everybody wants to talk to you, Brian.
No, I'm sure.
Who doesn't?
Sure.
Who doesn't? Absolutely.
Well, we're going to have a quick recap coming up at the top of the hour. Again, we have 77 of the 77 precincts in, so we'll step aside for CBS News and kind of go through everything, kind of unpack the rest of the night here tonight with all of the votes in here in Fayette County. Brian Morozak along with Russ Rhodes and Nick Barczyk, 2025 general election coverage here on your local station. And guys, a relief that we got all these numbers in pretty fast tonight.
Absolutely. That's good news.
I mean, we might be in bed by midnight.
Maybe you. I don't know if Nick and I will be, but we have a lot of stuff still to write up. But you can go to bed by midnight. Yes.
Okay.
And I'll be out doing some extracurricular activity. No, none on a Tuesday.
Coming up here on WMBS Uniontown, 11 o'clock CBS News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Breaking news. CBS News projects yes on Proposition 50 in California, which involves the redrawing of congressional maps that could favor Democrats. CBS News estimates that when the votes are counted, self-described Democrat socialist Zohran Mamdani will become New York City's first Muslim mayor, defeating Republican Curtis Sliwa and independent and former Governor Andrew Cuomo.
Congratulations to Zohran Mamdani.
That reaction prompts the former governor to scold reporters.
That is not right. That is not right, and that is not us. That is not us.
Democrats are also projected to win key races in New Jersey and Virginia. CBS News projects Democratic candidate Mikey Sherrill wins the election for governor of New Jersey, defeating Republican candidate Jack Ciattarelli.
I know these are tough times. I know not everyone voted for me, but I'm working for everyone. Every single one of you.
CBS News projects Democratic candidate Abigail Spanberger wins the election for governor of Virginia, defeating Republican candidate Winsome Earl-Sears. Also in Virginia, CBS News projects Democratic candidate Jay Jones wins the election for attorney general. Jones, for weeks, was bogged down in a scandal over text messaging 3 years ago, suggesting he was in favor of gun violence against a Republican candidate. Shortly after takeoff from Louisville's airport today, a UPS cargo plane crashed into a couple of businesses and went up in smoke and flames. Captured by Liriam Rodriguez in a nearby car. Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg on the death toll.
There were 3 crew members on the plane, 4 that we have confirmed dead or not on the plane. We believe it will be 7 that we're aware of at this time.
The National Transportation Safety Board will handle the investigation. Many SNAP recipients whose benefits have been cut off are turning to overwhelmed food pantries.
Caitlin Sly, the CEO of the Food Bank of Contra Costa and Solano in California, says for every one food bank client, there were 9 people on SNAP.
And that panicking anxiety is really taking a toll on people experiencing hunger in our community.
Sharon Abel, manager of the Graceland Food Shelf in Minneapolis, says while she waits for emergency funding from the state, the community is coming to the rescue with donations.
So we have enough money to keep spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month over our food budget.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
2 men are arrested after last weekend's explosion at Harvard University's medical school. No one was injured, and people who recognize the suspects in surveillance photos helped the FBI catch them. This is CBS.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Kohl's Black Friday deals are dropping early. You can save up to 50% throughout the store all weekend. Yep, call it what you want. Manifestation, luck, fate. The point is, it's happening. Plus, you'll earn $15 Kohl's cash for every $50 spent on Friday. Shop early Black Friday deals at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. And thank the universe later. Select styles up to 50% off, valid November 7th through 9th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
One of British soccer star David Beckham's longest-held wishes has finally come true. He's been knighted by the king.
Wearing a snappy gray suit by his designer wife, Victoria, David Beckham knelt, head bowed, as King Charles gently tapped him on each shoulder with a sword. He arose, Sir David.
It's a huge honour to be here at Windsor Castle. It's a huge honour to receive this from His Majesty, the King, and it's all round a very special day for us.
And what should his family call him now?
Not insisting if they would like to call me Sir Dad or, or Sir Son, they can.
Beckham honoured for both his sporting career and his charity work. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
U.S. Steel has detailed an $11 billion growth plan with new owner Nippon Steel that includes modernizing the century-old steelmaker. U.S. Steel says it's upgrading its manufacturing operations and expanding research and development to feature higher value, lower emission steel. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
The WMBS Weather Watch brought to you by Autoland Hyundai, your hometown Hyundai dealer on East Fayette Street. America's best warranty at Autoland. They feature a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection. Overnight low 42, rain moving in Wednesday at 66, overnight low 37, 53 with sun. Thursday for the weekend, rain likely Friday at 66, overnight low down below 50 at 48 Friday night. For the weekend, Saturday, sun, 58, low at 46 with showers Saturday night. Rain likely Sunday, maybe some light snow at 52, low at 30, and 34 for the high Monday, low down at 22 in the evening. The WMBS Weather Watch brought to you by Autoland. They're on East Fayette Street. They have America's #1 warranty at Autoland. They feature a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain protection at Autoland Hyundai of Uniontown. Your local station is Fayette's first and finest. Your home for America's best music, talk, and sports. 590 and 101.1 W266 DB WMBS Uniontown. Decision 2025 general election coverage is being brought to you by Sandy Howell Notary Services, the Tiberi Law Office, and Attorney Vincent Tiberi, Super 8 by Wyndham Uniontown, Best in Fayette for hotels and lodging, Auto Land Hyundai of Uniontown, and by West Media Group. More than political consultants, West Media Group is a full-service advertising agency.
We have 100% of the vote in here at 11:06 p.m. Brian Rozak along with Russ Rhodes and Nick Barczyk with election coverage here on WMBS on this 2025 election night. We're going to have Kendall joining us here in just a second. Just wanted to recap real quick. Both of the county races, contested races tonight for Recorder of Deeds and County Treasurer, both going to the Republicans. John Marietta winning for Recorder of Deeds over James Santilli by about 1,200 votes, and Melissa Tazan winning over Matt Lancaster by about 3,500 votes. Jason Scott winning for South Union Township Supervisor, defeating Patrick Mahoney, another Republican incumbent, winning there. But both of the Democrats, John Schoner along with Vincent Winfrey, winning in Uniontown City Council, unseating Republican incumbent Jared Billy in that race. Those are some of the headlines. And Kendall now joining us. And Kendall, certainly a lot to unpack, and we appreciate you taking the time to join us here late on election night.
Taking our time? Are you kidding me? I can't believe Nick could answer the phone. We know he can't get our calls and texts on his personal, Brian.
No comment. No comment.
Hey, stop picking on Nick.
That's what I told him. I said, oh, I'm glad you could answer me on this line, Nick.
Stop picking on
Hey,
Nick.
I'll take it. I'll take the heat. No comment.
Hey, yes, so I mean, I guess I'm that shocked about, well, I mean, I thought Recorder, I thought John Marietta, I heard like the last part of his call. I think that it was a little too close for comfort, I'd imagine, for what he wanted to see. I was a little surprised about Lancaster. I thought that he would come in a little closer. I thought Tazan would probably come out on top, but I think Lancaster, I think he worked obviously a little harder than Tazan. I didn't see much of her. Although I like her personally, so I try to separate the candidate from the person when it comes to being comfy in your seat, and I thought that she was going to get out there a little bit more. The South Union Township race, it was, South Union Township is like, it's like an animal of its own when it comes to politics, and I love that I never have a dog in that fight, and it's just something like I kind of like get my popcorn and watch. Patrick obviously ran, he went door to door, he ran a grassroots race, but I think that, people are happy with what South Union Township. South Union Township is a hard one to criticize whenever you consider all of the municipalities here in the county. I'll tell you what, the city is the one that surprised me the most, you guys. Russ, I know that you live in the city, and obviously my roots are deeply planted there. Mm-hmm. I knew Vince would come out as the top vote getter. It's no surprise. He's very, he's very well liked amongst the city of Uniontown. And I know that he is very well respected as currently the head of the fire department. And I know that firsthand just from people in the fire department. I did not see it. I actually thought that I thought it would be Winfrey and Altman, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
While I think that people are people are getting a little too big for their britches, because once it's time to decide who is in charge of accounts and finance, I think people are really going to be missing Councilman Winfrey, and I do not say that not Winfrey, I'm sorry,
Billy.
Excuse me, Billy.
Yep.
Yeah, right, Billy. A little shocked, and this is absolutely nothing personal, even though he called me a fascist on the chat during one of mine and Bill's show, was Schoner. I mean, I don't know if it takes just being a D in the city now to win, but we have a New York City mayoral race, and when it comes to Schoner, he made a post saying, allegedly, because it's been sent to me by many people, I love Zohan Mamdani's energy and his clear vision to do what's best for the people of NYC, whether in one of the largest cities in the country or in a small town. We can only progress when all of our neighbors can thrive. That was a post from our newly elected councilman, Schoner. And let me tell you something, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I'm rooting for any and all elected officials, whether they are incumbents or newly elected. I hope he does great. But that kind of talk
is
a little
disturbing.
bit.
Yeah.
Not for me.
And then, Kendall, as you mentioned about South Union Township, about just kind of sitting there with the popcorn, I'm kind of the same way in the city of Uniontown because, unlike you, I live in South Union, so I don't vote inside the city, but I do attend most of the Uniontown City Council meetings just for work purposes here since we filmed them, so I kind of see a lot what's going on. And the one thing I can say, as far as all 4 councilmen that are currently on Uniontown City Council, Jared Billy by far is the most vocal. I think he is the most transparent among all of the current councilmen as far as what's going on with everything that's happening inside the city. And to me, if I lived in the city, I would be a little bit concerned with some of the things that you had mentioned, and then Russ mentioned on his show something about a card for Antifa being shown at a rally a couple of weeks ago by Mr. Schoner, and just things like that. Just to me, wouldn't sit well. And again, I don't know him personally, and I like you. I hope that I hope that things work out for the best for the city because we need the city to start thriving in the way that South Union Township is. We had Jason Scott on with us earlier, and if we can get Uniontown to not have to worry about tax increases, get more money in the budget, it's going to help all of us out. And I hope he has a good way of trying to turn things around. But I was surprised because I do see, when I'm attending the council meetings and see Jarrett firsthand, how vocal he is and how transparent he is with everything, it's concerning that he's
fiscally responsible, Brian.
Yeah, and he is the lowest vote getter in the election. And to me, again, I don't live in the city, but when I'm seeing firsthand what's going on, it does not add up how the city of Uniontown is obviously seeing him in a different light than I'm obviously seeing him in because I'm attending these meetings. Maybe those people aren't, but I was extremely shocked to see the results of that race.
Well, and to Schoner's defense, and I mean this when I say it, and I will expand on this, as I'm sure Russ will too on his show with his own opinions. But for my own personal, Schoner did go on his own personal page and speak out about the Antifa card. He said it was a joke, and we all know everyone should know that Antifa is not an actual political organization. It is more of an ideology and a movement, right? So that was like a play on, and I think it was like bad timing. Yeah. I think it was a bad decision on his part. So in his defense, he's not a quote unquote member of Antifa, and he may be a great councilman, but at the same time, you're going on your Facebook page and you're making comments and a post allegedly about the newly elected, or clearly to be newly elected mayor of New York City. And by the way, the number of people in New York City who are threatening to move out of there, the millionaires who are threatening to leave because this man is going to raise taxes, it's not a good look. But when it comes to the city of Uniontown and Jared Billy's shocking numbers, don't forget, this is Jared Billy's first time running as a Republican, and I do wonder, does that make a difference?
Yeah, that's what
Jared Billy has won as a D for the past elections he's been there, and now he's an R, and does, because look, if we're being honest, Gary Altman, he was the one that worked the hardest in this election. Would you not agree, Russ?
I would agree. He went to those public meetings as far as the plans that Uniontown was putting together for working for the future, finding out what the residents were wanting, hearing residents' comments on all of that.
He spent the most money on the radio for what we know. I mean, he's I think that the most signs for sure, Gary Altman. I think Gary Altman has worked the hardest. And here's the thing with Vince. We all knew that Vince would be the highest vote getter. Vince is a beloved man in this town. He's always going to be the highest vote getter for anything he runs in the city. And from his, what we know about Vince, people love him, and he's very, very easy to work with. And so I'm happy for Vince that he won. I would vote for Vince if I was a voter in the city, which this is the first time I'm not in a long time, but or one of the first times in a long time. And because my roots are so deeply planted in the city, it just concerns me to see that. I don't know. I'm gonna, after tonight, I'm gonna just forget about all of this and hope for the best for the city of Uniontown. And while I don't agree with John Schroner's political ideologies, I'm only rooting for him, and I will always be rooting for him, and just like I will be anybody that gets elected.
And I think all of us want to see the city of Uniontown do well. I mean, no matter who's in charge, we want to see the city do well.
It could be because it is the county seat, and you want to see your county seat thrive, because if it thrives, then the rest of the county thrives. But that certainly hasn't been the case for some time, in my opinion.
I just think the city's going to miss whatever the role is. I think they're going to miss Jared Billy on council just with the amount of work that he puts in.
I think it's one of those things where, like, you don't miss it until it's gone.
Correct.
Type of things. And so any I don't think there's any real big shockers here. I mean, other than city council is a little bit of a shocker. I mean, well, as far as the three of us go, because we're kind of tapped into local stuff, but like as countywide, I think we kind of predicted. I think there were a lot of people though that are a little surprised that Santilli didn't win. But I think if the voter turnout were a little higher, I think we would have seen different numbers, and I think we would have seen Santilli get a little bit.
Actually, I think if it might have been lower, it would have favored Santilli.
Yeah, absolutely. If it had been lower, not higher. I mean, we came in; it was still almost 39% of the turnout.
Yeah.
If it had stayed down around 30.
I was surprised at the flip, the way it occurred. When we saw those early numbers, I was thinking when I saw those, I don't think Marietta can make up that deficit, and he did, and still won by 1,200 votes.
Yeah. Now I will say there are provisional ballots that are still out because of what took place with the voting rolls. This morning.
I don't think it's going to flip 1,200 votes.
There's not going to be 1,200 votes out there.
And look, at the end of the day, you got to give Marietta credit, because he ruffles people's feathers and he keeps on going, and people like that about him.
And we asked him tonight if he considered,
him or not, he does that.
And I don't know if you heard much of the interview we had with him, but we asked him earlier if he considered running for county commissioner in 2 years, and he says he's not answering that question right now. So I think there's certainly going to be, I think, a play there as well for him to be in that race in 2 years, and that opens up as well.
One answer I think we all vote yes to is that we really miss Phil again tonight.
Yes, we do. Yeah. That is for sure. I mean, it's not an election night without Phil. We think about him all the time.
It's totally not.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. And just everything, too. I want to add this real quick, too. He just from a personal standpoint, as far as he was a great mediator, and we have like certain issues around here. And we miss him being in there as far as a mediator with a lot of things we do. And he's certainly somebody I think about all the time, and we certainly miss being in here doing these shows and just interacting with him on a regular basis.
And he was such a plus. I mean, we had a question about local politics, national politics, state. We call Phil. He knows it right away. I mean, he was so smart. And I don't even think he knew how smart he actually was, because he was very, very bright. And if anybody out there, 724-438-4593. If you have Nick Barczyk's actual cell phone number, give us a call at any time of the day at WMBS, because we're trying to figure out how we can get through to Nick.
I change it so frequently, it's hard to keep up.
I have issues with it as well, Kendall. Believe me, it's all of us.
Hey, wait, Nick, what did you say you were going to go do extracurriculars?
Extracurricular activities. You're invited. Absolutely.
I'm in my pajamas and in my robe.
That doesn't matter.
We'll paint the town red.
Hey, I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks. We'll see you Friday.
All right, dear. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kendall. I don't know what she's talking about. I'm very reliable. I always get back to everyone immediately. Nonsense she's spewing on the public airwaves.
Appreciate Kendall joining us. And again, just to recap, if you're just joining us, where have you been all night? But still,
really.
We have 100% of the voting countywide, which is still crazy here at 11:20 because it never happens this early. But we will credit, Russ. We will credit everybody down at the Election Bureau. They had all these numbers in by 10:46.
They did.
Yep.
I don't know what you've said to them, but something.
As much as I like to complain, I have no problem saying great job, attaboy, when everything is done correctly.
You complain, Brian? You like to complain? Wow, that's news to me.
You got us all the numbers. You did a fantastic job.
Very much so.
Who's ever down there at the Election Bureau, thank you. And again, we certainly appreciate it.
And now the fun starts with them tomorrow, because they have to go through all the write-in ballots.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
And they have to list every single name on the website.
You don't envy them for that.
No, I don't. No.
But I think the one good thing is, though, I can't see any of these races with just the number totals being contested at all this time around. I think we're going to see the results we have tonight are going to be in the final results, and I don't see anything being real close enough to really contest.
You never know.
Race. 1,200 vote difference there, Marietta over Santilli.
Yeah, these numbers are going to change some, but they're not going to change enough to come close to cause a recount or anything.
Correct. So again, John Marietta winning for Recorder of Deeds, Melissa Tazan winning for County Treasurer. Again, Jason Scott winning in South Union Township. We mentioned for the Uniontown School Director race, the only contested School Director race, Stacy Brandt, William Rittenhouse, Chris Gearing, and Don Regula, the top 4 vote getters, with Mary Sykes not advancing for Uniontown School Board. We mentioned the mayor's race was also contested in the borough of Fairchance tonight. That went to Gregory Heiss over Thomas Tanner by a difference of only 29 votes in that race. We only had 428 votes cast in that race out of Fairchance. Laura McDonough winning over Vicky Tate for Fairchance Borough Tax Collector. Nick, anything else you have over there?
Let's see, as we look at the Superior Court and Commonwealth Court, I think we already touched on this, but let's update for the people just joining us, the residents. Brandon Newman is the winner on the Superior Court at 54.8% of the vote, 1,735,536 votes, outlasting Maria Batista, the Republican challenger. And on the Commonwealth Court, Stella Tasai, the Democrat, wins there with 55.5% of the vote, 1,751,004 votes, beating out the Republican Matt Wolford with 1,401,251. He got 44.5% of the vote. And yes is the vote to retain the Michael Wojcik, the judge on the Commonwealth Court, and the same goes for Alice Dubow in the Superior Court. Both will be retained there.
And in Fayette County, you mentioned the retention races. They all went no inside the county, which really doesn't mean anything for the statewide race as well, but all the no votes were inside of Fayette County.
Yep.
Guys, some of your final thoughts here before we wrap things up.
For me, I want to, I've said this before, I'll say it again, I want to thank all the candidates who took the time out of their lives and took time away from their families to put themselves out there, put themselves on. Win or lose.
Yes.
To me, you're all winners anyway.
No.
And thank you for putting your life on hold to make a difference. To make a difference. And you have. Whether you believe it or not, you have.
Nick?
That's great sentiment, absolutely. And turnout was maybe better than we expected. What's the
I'd have 38% tonight.
Not bad for a municipal election. Yeah, not good for what they call an off-year election, though that's not a great term to use, a municipal election. Yeah. So that's great to see next year, the midterm, so we'll have more races there, and we'll see again in May. But yeah, I echo Russ's sentiments there about the candidates, win or lose. That's awesome.
And over the next local election cycle, we're going to have our state rep races again.
That's right, absolutely.
So we'll see if anybody else throws their hat in.
And I think Senator Stefano's up again.
He's up, okay.
He's up next year.
And I know you have a local touch on everything here, Russ. Do you anticipate challengers for Senator Stefano, for Mary Grace Butella and Ryan Warner in their respective districts?
You mean not Mary Grace? You mean
I'm sorry, Charity Grim-Krupa. I don't know
Probably. What I'm thinking. Ryan, I mean, he didn't have any competition last year.
Last time, no, correct.
But yeah, I figure somebody will step forward.
Yep, we will see.
Yeah,
we'll see how that plays out.
Just a token or a legitimate candidate remains to be seen.
And our next primary is going to be in May, so you're going to have to wait a little while. Of course, when they have the presidential elections, they move them up to April.
Right.
But the next cycle won't be until May, so we'll all get together again in mid-May. I'll be probably wearing shorts by then. And
probably.
Can't wait. You'll be playing more golf.
We're playing more golf.
That's right.
I got a new Hawaiian shirt this past weekend.
Nice.
So, if I don't bring it out before then, I'll have it, for the primary.
The Pirates will be in first place that week, I hope.
I think so.
And you guys will all be talking about getting your World Series tickets, and then a couple weeks later, you'll be in last place.
Well, there you go. Eternal optimist.
The NFL draft being held.
Yeah, that's right. That's coming up in April. We're broadcasting live from that, right, Brian?
Yeah. All the fun things coming up here in the next couple.
Absolutely.
And plus, you're sending Nick and I to Taylor Swift and Tulsi
Travis Kelce's wedding.
Wedding.
When is that? Where's it?
We don't know yet, but when
I hear it's an open bar.
We understand you're sending us.
It's an open bar, so I'll be there.
We're going to do a live remote. We're going to take the prize wheel with us.
If it's in
yeah, we're going to class it up. We're going to class it up with the prize wheel.
If it's in Uniontown or anywhere in Fayette County, I will send you.
If it's a local wedding,
it's
local coverage.
I know we're getting close to signing off. I want to go a little personal. A good friend of my daughter, her dog is lost.
Oh, we got to find the dog.
And I know Brian posted it on our Facebook page, but for any of our wonderful listeners out in Centerville or Ritchieville area, we're looking for a little white dachshund, hot dog, wiener dog.
A little white dachshund.
Dachshund with brown spots.
And also for the folks that are on the stream, if you missed any of the results that we gave over the next hour or so, give us a little time here. We'll get them all up on our WMBS Facebook page as well, and we'll have all those results.
And listen to Brian Friday night. You're doing a play-by-play.
Yes,
Fraser,
and
Bishop, Canevin.
and for the folks that might be listening to the Perryopolis area or friends of the Fraser Commodores, also have to, a big thanks to a lot of the folks that made this possible last week and going into this week as well.
We had a lot of sponsors.
Led up by State Representative Ryan Warner, Sandy Howell Notary Services. I'm going to miss a few, but
that log was filled. Yeah.
Yes, there are a great number of folks. We'll have them posted for this week's game as well. Matt Lancaster hopped on for last week. Just a number of great folks that made this possible. Gene and Boots out in Perryopolis, Perry Drug, Napa Auto Parts. I can go on and on and on, but I have to thank all the folks for hopping on. We do have live video for Fraser and Bishop Canevin coming up at Cannon Mac on Friday night, 6 o'clock, Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show, 7 o'clock opening kickoff. Tony Hanula is going to join me. I think we have Carl Childs behind the camera, Nick Barczyk back here inside our Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios. Should be a lot of fun on Friday night. Fraser trying to keep it going. They had their first playoff win in 10 years last week.
Congratulations.
Yes. And I'm not just saying this. It really is a pleasure to listen to you and Tony do a high school sporting event.
Thanks.
And Steve does a great job as well. It is so much fun.
We try.
It's nice to get you ready for the weekend. You have high school Friday, college Saturday, NFL Sunday.
Yes.
You and Tony kick it off, and I can't wait. You guys do a phenomenal job.
Steelers will be calling.
You're award winners.
Yes.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
You're award winners, literally. I mean, you have hardware.
Yes.
You have hardware, Russ? Have you won an award yet?
No.
It keeps getting lost in the mail. Your Marconi Award.
You entered last year, didn't you?
Yeah, but they were foolish and didn't pick.
No, I got you.
What are you going to do?
That's okay.
Wait till next year. Just like
I don't do this for the glory.
Just like being a Pirate fan. Wait till next year.
Well, guys, it was fun. Again, all the results coming. I have to thank all of our election sponsors tonight as well. Super 8, West Media Group, who's been with us forever on these election coverage. Autoland Hyundai, the Tiberi Law Offices, and Sandy Howell Notary Services. You've seen their graphics up in the top right and left-hand corners throughout the course of the night. If it wasn't for those folks, we wouldn't be able to have this local election coverage. And appreciate everybody supporting local radio, local news, local sports, all that we do. That allows us to bring you shows like this when we have events like election night. So, again, thank you to the community for all of their terrific support. A lot of folks hopping on with the comments and on the live stream tonight. It's been fantastic.
And I'll be back tomorrow at 1:15 for What's on Your Mind. We'll talk some after election.
Yeah, call Russ. Again, everything kind of will sit in for a little bit. And any of the candidates, too, that won or lost tonight, they're welcome to give you a call tomorrow as well. The debrief show is always a lot of fun the day after the election.
Sure. And we'll go into some nationwide election results as well. It looks like Proposition 50 out in California, the redistrict, is going to pass out there. So
you have Mayor-elect Mamdani on the show tomorrow, right, Russ? He just called and said he's coming on.
Is he?
Yeah. Zoran's coming on.
There we go.
All right, again, thanks for everybody for joining us. For Nick Barczyk, and also best wishes to the Rattay family. George had to leave for a family emergency early tonight. Hopefully everything's good there. Russ Rhodes, Nick Barczyk, Kendall for joining us. Matt George and Jason Scott were on with us along with John Marietta earlier. Appreciate everybody calling in and appreciate everybody tuning in. This is WMBS Uniontown. We'll have a CBS News update coming up here in just a moment here on WMBS.
Politics is a tough business. Getting your message out to voters takes a good strategy. West Media Group and their strategic expertise and creative capabilities have helped to elect many notable Fayette County office holders, including Judges Steve Leskinen, Nancy Vernon, and Linda Cordero, retired State Senator Rich Kasunik,